Chapter 556. Water Spirit Divine Change. This was the high-level water secret technique that Elder Shui Yun had used before. However, at this moment, this powerful secret technique had been successfully replicated by Zhao Feng. Poof, poof, poof. Zhao Feng's body seemed to have turned into a liquid. The power from the spatial wavy blade pierced through his body as if it had pierced through a person made of water. Outside, the experts of the three sects on the towering mountain were all dumbfounded. Everyone had personally witnessed Elder Shui Yun's water spirit godly change. Not many people in the three two-star sects could successfully learn such a peerless water element secret technique. The water spirit divine change uses the power of water to fuse with one's flesh and blood, turning one's body into a liquid state for a short period of time. In this state, one's defense is almost immortal. Zhao Feng floated in the air, his body rippling in a liquid state, his eyes calm. At the same time, the ice imperial spear in his body had fused with every corner of his bloodline. The intent of ice and water was like a water skeleton that supported Zhao Feng's water spirit divine change. That was why Zhao Feng hadn't become a sovereign yet, so he could successfully use the water spirit divine change and reduce the energy consumption. Damn it, when did this brat learn this technique? It's almost immortal. Grandmaster Yin Kong gritted his teeth. Poof! Under the attack of the spatial wavy blade, Zhao Feng took 2 to 3 breaths of time. Of course, during this process, Zhao Feng was injured. Space-type attacks were special. Even though his body was in a semi-liquid state and could absorb 70 to 80% of the damage, it still injured his body. Luckily, the Ice Imperial Spear has fused with my body. Even in the Water Spirit Divine Change state, Zhao Feng could still feel the pain of being injured. Luckily, with the support of the Ice Imperial Spear, his Water Spirit Divine Change's defense was comparable to Elder Shui Yun's. Plop! Zhao Feng's body was injured, and the healing power of the water was 10 times faster than normal. Therefore, although Zhao Feng was taking damage, in his semi-liquid state, his recovery speed was faster than the damage he caused. How did he do it? He has learned my highest secret skill of water, the water spirit transformation. Elder Shui Yun lost her composure. 3 breaths later, whoosh! The void wavy blade attack was ineffective and disappeared. Grandmaster Yin Kong's face turned slightly pale, and his expression became grave. Zhao Feng's growth potential and the concealment of his strength were beyond common sense. Even someone as strong as Grandmaster Yin Kong found it a little tricky to deal with. Meanwhile, pop! Zhao Feng's liquefied body returned to its normal state of flesh and blood. This surprised Elder Shui Yun and the others. The water spirit transformation was a powerful secret skill that not only allowed one's body to liquefy, it could also greatly increase one's combat strength. But just now, Zhao Feng had only used half of this secret skill, which was the defensive power of the liquid state immortal body, but it did not increase his combat power. Thinking about it, Elder Shui Yun started to understand. Zhao Feng might only be able to learn half of it in a short amount of time. Furthermore, the full version of the water spirit transformation used too much energy. Zhao Feng's bloodline power and cultivation were weaker than hers. Even Elder Shui Yun would be greatly injured after using this secret skill. The water spirit transformation uses too much energy. I only used half of its power, and I already feel like I'm lacking energy. Zhao Feng didn't immediately attack after saving his life. The feeling of lacking energy alerted Zhao Feng. Grandmaster Yin Kong's situation was also slightly awkward. He had used up a lot of his eye bloodline power. Firstly, using a secret technique to enter the Purple Saint Ruins had used half of his bloodline power. His bloodline power and eye bloodline power came from the same source. Next, Grandmaster Yin Kong had used up a lot of his eye bloodline power to kill the Stone Giant, the Skeletal Division leader, and the fight with Zhao Feng. The Spatial Wavy Blade was an area of effect skill that used up a lot of his bloodline power. However, he could not easily use the Silver Void Blade, which consumed less energy as a single target attack. Once he used the silver spatial wavy blade, he might be countered by Zhao Feng's spatial movement. Woo! Right at this moment, the skeletal division leader waved the black flag and summoned the power of the Ghost Corp's cursed array. A dark mist covered everyone. Cough, cough. Grandmaster Yin Kong and company's injuries worsened as they were corroded by the power of the curse. Purple destruction, wind, lightning whip. Zhao Feng laughed as a purple and azure whip condensed in his hand. It was dozens of yards long and contained the power of wind, lightning, yuan qi. Pa! Pa! Boom! The purple destruction tempest whip was filled with a destructive aura of wind and lightning. As it danced in the air, wind and lightning exploded, trapping the people below. At this point in time, the remaining experts of the three sects were once again in despair. There was the wind-lightning whip above and the Ghost Corp's cursed array below. The only person that had a chance of escaping was Grandmaster Yin Kong. But if he didn't, he would lose Elder Shui Yun's healing and lose one of his legs. Silver spatial restriction. Grandmaster Yin Kong's silver eyes released a surge of spatial eye bloodline power. This time, his target was the skeletal division leader. This was because the skeletal division leader was controlling the Ghost Corp's cursed array and affected the balance of the situation. Purple destruction, azure eye-piercing slash. Zhao Feng snickered coldly as he used his fastest eye bloodline technique toward Grandmaster Yin Kong. Shua, surrounded by wisps of purple destruction, wind, and thunder power, the huge, translucent blade slashed towards Grandmaster Yin Kong. Grandmaster Yin Kong's expression changed slightly. Shua! Grandmaster Yin Kong's figure disappeared, leaving behind a silver light, just as his azure eye-piercing slash missed once again. Seeing the azure eye-piercing slash disappear, Zhao Feng had a flash of inspiration. A bold idea appeared in his mind. Bam! The huge, translucent blade of nothingness self-destructed in the void. If green eye sharp slash and void movement are combined and the former is endowed with the characteristics of a spatial attack, wouldn't that be? Zhao Feng's eyes twinkled and his heart jumped. Zhao Feng, save me. The skeletal division leader was still under Grandmaster Yin Kong's silver spatial restriction, and it couldn't move at all. It was still using the Dark Heart Seed to send a message to Zhao Feng. Without the skeletal division leader, the Ghost Corp's cursed array's power was halved in a short amount of time. Seeing that Lu Tianyi and company had recovered, Grandmaster Yin Kong smiled. Lu Tianyi, you guys are responsible for killing the skeletal division leader. It's sealed by my spatial power and can't resist at all. Grandmaster Yin Kong chuckled and returned to Elder Shui Yun's side. He still needed Elder Shui Yun's help for now. Okay, Lu Tianyi and company formed a team and forced their way through the Ghost Corp's cursed array toward the skeletal division leader. Once Lu Tianyi and company got close, the skeletal division leader would die for sure. Purple destruction, azure eye-piercing slash. Right at this moment, Zhao Feng's second azure eye-piercing slash slashed through the air. It was different from before. This time, the azure eye-piercing slash was only 1 meter long, and its power was more condensed. The previous azure eye-piercing slash was several yards long, but this time it's only 1 meter long. Although it's more condensed, it only uses 10% of my eye bloodline power. A faint smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face. Such a small azure eye-piercing slash didn't use much of his eye bloodline power. Of course, this was just a preparation for the next step. It's useless. You can't lock onto me. Grandmaster Yin Kong smiled and easily dodged the azure eye-piercing slash. He still used silver spatial restriction to lock onto the skeletal division leader. Save me. The skeletal division leader was unable to move and could only watch as Lu Tianyi approached it with the earth-grade sky wolf-killing slash. Right at this moment, the situation changed. The meter-long azure eye-sharp slash disappeared into thin air after missing its target. Void. Space. Movement. A transparent ripple of eye bloodline power appeared at the center of the ripple, and the outline of an illusory whirlpool stacked on top of Lu Tianyi. Whoosh! Blood splattered everywhere as Lu Tiany's body froze. A semi-transparent wind blade, surrounded by wisps of trembling purple destruction, wind thunder aura, pierced through his body out of nowhere. Save, save! Lu Tiany's voice was hoarse, but the azure eye-piercing slash had appeared from within his body and contained the aura of destruction. Plop! Lu Tiany fell to the ground. He was dead. The top genius of the three sects had died. Tiany, Brother Lu, Elder Shui Yun, Yin Yu, and the experts of the three sects exclaimed. Within the ghost corpse cursed array, Yin Yu and Zhuanghua, I didn't know what to do. Even someone as strong as Lu Tiany was instantly killed by Zhao Feng. That slash is even more unique than my silver spatial blade. It teleports directly into the target's body. Grandmaster Yin Kong's heart shook. His silver void blade still had an attacking process as it sliced through the air. On the other hand, Zhao Feng's attack just now had moved the blade of the azure eye into his opponent's body and dealt fatal damage. It was even more sudden and out of nowhere. Grandmaster Yin Kong, thank you for your spatial talent. I can use it as a reference. I've now formed my strongest eye bloodline technique. Void space, eye slash. Zhao Feng suddenly roared into the sky. He had merged the azure eye-piercing slash with spatial movement to form Zhao Feng's strongest eye bloodline technique. Void space eye slash. Everyone's hearts shook. Everyone, if you surrender now, I might let you live. Zhao Feng stood with his hands behind his back and said confidently. At this moment, he was too lazy to even bother with the skeletal division leader. Brat, don't be arrogant. The pure moon spiritual sect won't let you go for killing Lu Tiany. Elder Shui Yun harumphed coldly. Kill void space eye slash. A powerful surge of eye bloodline power appeared from Zhao Feng's left eye, and a purple and azure aura flashed across it. Shua! Elder Shui Yun's body froze as blood splattered everywhere. The heart in her body was pierced by a 3-foot-long blade that suddenly appeared. Purple destruction aura burst forth and instantly killed her life force. Plop! Elder Shui Yun was dead. She was dead. Hua! In the outside world, the experts of the three sects were in an uproar, killing a sovereign with just one gaze. Lu Tiany and Elder Shui Yun, two sovereigns, had been instantly killed. Terrifying. When did this Zhao Feng comprehend such a terrifying eye bloodline technique? Some of the venerable realm powerhouses gasped. Within the ghost corpse cursed array. How did Zhao Feng suddenly become so terrifying? He's killing sovereigns like cutting carrots. The skeletal division leader was stunned. Unknowingly, the restriction on its body had disappeared. That was because Grandmaster Yin Kong, who was standing on the other side, had a hint of fear in his eyes. Chapter 557. In a limitless ocean, on top of the mountain, an uproar broke out among the experts of the three sections. Some of the sovereigns couldn't help but take in a cold breath. The expressions of the three void god realms that were like gods became solemn. At this moment, Zhao Feng's terrifying strength was like a nightmarish existence that made others tremble in fear. The Saint Moon Ant Goddess gazed deeply at Zhao Feng in the image inside. Let's try to save the remaining three. The Saint Moon Ant Goddess's voice broke the silence. The other two void god realm kings looked at each other and couldn't help but sigh. Their expressions were filled with helplessness. After Elder Shui Yun's death, the three void god realm kings knew that they had lost their chance. Elder Shui Yun had a very important position in the invading group. As long as Elder Shui Yun didn't die, the others could return to their peak. It could be said that Elder Shui Yun, the medicine sovereign, was one of the cores. However, Zhao Feng also understood this point. After killing Elder Shui Yun, Grandmaster Yin Kong wouldn't be able to recover in a short amount of time. Therefore, Zhao Feng decisively left the void space eye slash for Elder Shui Yun. Purple Saint Ruins. The power of the ghost corpse cursed array surged. Yi Yu and Zhuang didn't give up and tried to kill the skeletal division leader. I still have the void god protection. It should be enough to kill the skeletal division leader. Zhuang Wanner messaged. Retreat. Grandmaster Yin Kong's voice suddenly sounded and stopped the two girls. Zhuang Wan'er was still hesitating, but Grandmaster Yin Kong said urgently, "The true danger comes from Zhao Feng. Even I don't have the confidence to retreat." Hearing that, the hearts of the two girls shook. They didn't think that even Grandmaster Yin Kong, who had a high status, would lose his will to fight. Thinking about how Elder Shui Yun and Lu Tianyi had been instantly killed by Zhao Feng, the two girls didn't have any courage left. Run! Grandmaster Yin Kong's figure flashed and left several afterimages in the air. Shua! Whoosh! In less than 2 breaths, Grandmaster Yin Kong took the two girls out of the Ghost Corpse Curse formation. For this, Grandmaster Yin Kong had to pay a price and take the counterattack of the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array and the Skeletal Division leader. The direction in which Grandmaster Yin Kong fled was the mysterious canyon. Trying to escape, Zhao Feng put away the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array and had the Skeletal Division leader enter the 10,000 Ghost Pearl. Pack! Flapping his tempest wings, Zhao Feng quickly chased after Grandmaster Yin Kong. Zhao Feng, since you've already comprehended such a powerful void space why don't you kill the other 3 as well? The Skeletal Division leader recovered from its shock and asked. The void space that Zhao Feng had comprehended could instantly kill those at the small origin core realm, so why didn't he keep using it? The core of the void space is void movement, which expends a lot of I bloodline power. I still have one more chance to use the void space Zhao Feng's eyes flickered as he explained. At this point in time, Zhao Feng had expended a lot of his I bloodline power, so he could only use the void space one last time. Of the remaining 3, Grandmaster Yin Kong was obviously the biggest threat. Zhao Feng had to use the last void space well. If his target was a normal sovereign, Zhao Feng would definitely be able to kill him in one move. However, his target was Grandmaster Yin Kong, who specialized in spatial laws and had a spatial bloodline. It was extremely hard to lock onto him. That was why Zhao Feng didn't act rashly as he chased. That Zhao Feng probably doesn't have much of his I bloodline power left. At most, it's on par with mine. Grandmaster Yin Kong was also on guard as he ran. It wasn't hard for him to analyze that Zhao Feng could only use the void space one more time, or else he would have attacked already. Just like that, both sides continued to chase after Grandmaster Yin Kong. The wings of wind and lightning fluttered behind Zhao Feng, and the little thieving cat stood on his shoulder as he chased after Grandmaster Yin Kong. During this time, both sides were on high alert. Grandmaster Yin Kong and company were especially on guard against Zhao Feng's next void space Soon, Grandmaster Yin Kong and company arrived at the mysterious canyon. The mysterious canyon was the transmission point of the spatial splitting array in the outside world. Don't worry and set up the array. Zhao Feng won't waste his last void space on you. Grandmaster Yin Kong ordered the two girls. At the same time, in the outside world, on top of the mountain, the 3 Void God Realm Kings took action at the same time, and a surge of Void God Realm magnificent power seeped in, forcefully expanding the whole without caring about the price of the spatial backlash. Cavern channel connection ready. On the other side, the Array Masters had finished setting up the spatial splitting array. Mysterious Canyon. Grandmaster Yin Kong felt the unique aura of the spatial splitting array and was overjoyed. Zhao Feng's got spiritual. I obviously sensed it as well. According to the spatial ripples from before, Zhao Feng could estimate when the spatial crack would open. You want to leave just like that? Zhao Feng snickered coldly. The Skeletal Division leader appeared the instant it landed and controlled the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array to cover the area around the spatial crack. Yi Yin and company were being suppressed by the Skeletal Division leader and wouldn't be able to last long. Void God Protection. Zhuang Wan'er crushed a jade talisman in her hand, and the figure of a black moon demoness appeared behind her. Instantly, a vast and immeasurable godly force pressed down on the entire space. Of course, Zhuang Wan'er only used the Void God Protection to protect herself and didn't dare to use it as an attack. This was because Zhao Feng and company had the protection of the Ghost Corp's cursed array and Earth-grade weapons. Even if they used the Void God protection once, it wouldn't be enough. This was especially true for Zhao Feng. He had the Void Space I/ for offense and the Water Spirit transformation for defense, which allowed him to enter an undying state for a short period of time. It could be said that Zhao Feng was an unrivaled existence in the Purple Saint ruins. Zhuang didn't dare to anger Zhao Feng. If the Void Space I/ landed on her, she probably wouldn't be able to survive. At this moment, Zhao Feng faintly sensed a familiar spatial ripple. Stay. Void Space I/. A powerful surge of eye bloodline power appeared in Zhao Feng's left eye, and a purple and azure aura flashed across it. In that instant, the hearts of the three present jumped into their throats. Don't even think about it. Grandmaster Yin Kong felt Zhao Feng's eye bloodline power lock onto him, and he felt a prickling sensation on his skin. Shua, a 3-inch-long blade slashed through the air, leaving behind a silver afterimage. He missed. The people present, including the experts of the three sects outside, couldn't help but exclaim. In the next instant, Shua, Grandmaster Yin Kong appeared in the air dozens of yards away with joy on his face. However, he suddenly felt that something was wrong. The 3-inch-long blade didn't seem to have appeared out of thin air. This wasn't the characteristic of the Void Space I/. Void Space I/. A cold voice sounded in the soul dimension. Oh! A ripple of eye bloodline power appeared where Grandmaster Yin Kong landed, and a whirlpool appeared in the center. Not good. Grandmaster Yin Kong yelled as he realized that he had been tricked. The truth was, the so-called Void Space I/ just then was just a normal azure eye piercing slash. It was just a trick that Zhao Feng used to trick Grandmaster Yin Kong. Run! Grandmaster Yin Kong's heart skipped a beat. He used his space movement technique at the fastest speed in his life and left a silver afterimage where he stood. Shua, surrounded by tiny wisps of purple destruction wind lightning. The 3-foot-long blade pierced through the silver shadow without any warning. Whoosh! Blood splattered everywhere. Arg! Grandmaster Yin Kong appeared on the other side and covered the bloody hole in his chest. So, although Grandmaster Yin Kong's reactions were fast, he wasn't able to dodge the Void Space I/, and his organs were still pierced. You! Grandmaster Yin Kong's body stiffened, and his voice was hoarse. The essence of the Void Space I/ was still the azure, eye-piercing slash. The destructive aura of wind lightning was wreaking havoc in Grandmaster Yin Kong's body. I've already predicted where you'll land next. I'll move the azure eye-piercing slash into your body as soon as you appear. Zhao Feng snickered coldly. He had succeeded this time because he had predicted where Grandmaster Yin Kong was going to land. The scariest thing about the Void Space I/ was that it could move objects through the air and directly into the opponent's body. I hate. Grandmaster Yin Kong's eyes were red, and his face was full of regret. If he hadn't underestimated Zhao Feng at the start and had directly attacked to kill Zhao Feng, he wouldn't have ended up like this. At this moment, the life force in his body was quickly disappearing. If Elder Shui Yun was here and could heal him immediately, there would be a chance that he could be saved. Unfortunately, Zhao Feng had already killed Elder Shui Yun, a crucial person. Let's go. Right at this moment, Yi Yin and Zhuang entered the tunnel that had just appeared. The tunnel closed, and the two girls disappeared. What a pity. Zhao Feng had used up all of his eye bloodline power, and true force. Otherwise, he would have tried to capture the two girls as hostages so that the three sects wouldn't be able to harm them. Grandmaster Yin Kong. Zhao Feng's gaze landed on the silver-eyed, handsome youth who was on the verge of death. At the last moment, Zhao Feng didn't dare to let his guard down, and he was even on guard. He was at his weakest right now. If Grandmaster Yin Kong had some trump card, he might be dragged down with him if he wasn't careful. Therefore, Zhao Feng was in the Ghost Corp's cursed array, and he had already prepared himself. As expected, a pitch-black ancient token appeared in Grandmaster Yin Kong's hand. The ancient command token was inscribed with an ancient character that could shake one's soul death. That is, Zhao Feng's heart shook. A coldness of death entered his soul. In that instant, the god spiritual I started to warn him. What a strong aura of death. The skeletal division leader's soul trembled, and it had the urge to kneel down. Ha ha ha, Zhao Feng, I'm dead. You won't have a good ending either. Do you know who the owner of this token of death is? The blood on Grandmaster Yin Kong's hand merged into the pitch-black token. Watch out! Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader prepared. In the last moment before death, Grandmaster Yin Kong gave a savage laugh. I might be talented in space, but I'm not a true bloodline descendant of the space-time god Eye. This token of death comes from one of the 8 great god Eyes. His voice suddenly stopped. Chapter 558. And this token of death comes from one of the 8 great god Eyes. Before he even finished speaking, the life force within Grandmaster Yin Kong's body was completely extinguished, and he died. Plop! Grandmaster Yin Kong's body fell to the ground. However, the sense of danger in Zhao Feng's heart didn't decrease. Wang, floating in the air, the pitch-black medallion of death, and the ancient character for death emanated an aura of death that penetrated one's soul. An intent of death locked onto Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng's consciousness felt like it had fallen into an ice house, and the feeling of being unable to breathe came from his soul. At this moment, he even had the feeling that his life wasn't in his control anymore. That token! In the outside world, the 3 Void God Realms stared at the token of death and exclaimed. Even the 3 Void God Realm kings couldn't help but take in a cold breath when they saw the token of death. Token of death. It's the token of death. The Golden Skeleton King exclaimed in fear. Wariness and fear appeared in his eyes as he stared at the token of death. Token of death. The 3 Void God Realm kings and the sovereigns present were speechless. Most of them had heard of this legend before. At this moment in time, within the Purple Saint ruins, the token of death had locked onto Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng felt as if his soul was being restricted, and he couldn't control his body or life. Pung, pung, pung. The god spiritual I started to twitch. The feeling was stronger than ever. The aura from the token of death made the god spiritual I feel unfamiliar, yet familiar. Suddenly, a ripple appeared in the air, and the black light released by the token of death became 10 times, then 100 times stronger. A pair of pitch-black, serene eyes appeared on the token of death. Inside the eyes was a bottomless whirlpool. Faint white spots of light pulsated in the whirlpool, as if it was connected to an endless world of death. Puny being, follow my will of death, and take away your right to live. The whirlpool of black eyes locked onto Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng's soul went cold, and his body started to tremble. He felt as if his soul was being restricted by an undefiable intent. At that moment, he stopped breathing for a moment. His life seemed to have reached its end, and he was controlled by a mysterious power. Eyes of Death, one of the 8 great god Eye inheritances. The Death Pursuit has appeared. It really is the Eye of Death. The person behind the token should be the Emperor of Death. In the outside world, the experts of the 3 sects were in an uproar. The 3 kings all held their breaths as they stared at the Eye of Death that had appeared on the token. Zhao Feng, be careful. This is probably the Eye intent of the Eye of Death, a descendant of the 8 great god Eyes. There was a trace of panic in the Purple Saint Partial Spirit's voice. Eyes of Death. Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leaders' bodies froze as their consciousness was suppressed by the intent of death. It was as if they had lost the ability to live. One of the 8 great god Eye inheritances, the Eye of Death. Zhao Feng's heart trembled, but his soul was imprisoned by the will of death. No matter how he struggled, he couldn't break free. It wasn't just him. Even the skeletal division leader, a sovereign, trembled and couldn't move. Looks like Zhao Feng's dead for sure. The Eye of Death controls the laws of death. The skeletal division leader didn't even dare to breathe. The target of the Eye of Death was only Zhao Feng. If he did anything, it might take his own life as well. Die! The pitch-black whirlpool in the Eye of Death slowly spun. Zhao Feng's body sank as his consciousness was sucked in by an unstoppable power. Don't even think about. Decisiveness appeared in Zhao Feng's eyes as he used his will to stop this power. However, his soul was still uncontrollably attracted by the Eye of Death. The soul was the soul of a person. At this moment, Zhao Feng felt as if his consciousness was being pulled out of his body and taken away by the Eye of Death. The soul was the origin of all intelligent beings. Even if a void God Realm King had surpassed the physical body level, once their soul was destroyed, everything would cease to exist. Annihilating one's soul meant complete death. As for the Eyes of Death, the intent of death directly targeted the soul. No! The Skeletal Division leader also exclaimed in fear. The Skeletal Division leader was very close to Zhao Feng, so the aura of death reached its body. He couldn't control his soul consciousness either, as if it was about to be stripped out of his body. The Skeletal Division leader struggled, but it could only barely hold on. If he was already in such a state, it was hard to imagine just what sort of deadly crisis Zhao Feng was facing. Haha, that brat's dead for sure. No matter how unparalleled he was and how he battled with our wits, in the end, when he encountered the death hunt, he would not be able to escape. In the outside world, the experts of the three sects were overjoyed. The pursuit of death comes from mysterious Emperor of Death. Once it's activated, it can attract the Emperor of Death's Eye of Death. The Saint Moon Ant Goddess murmured, "Zhe, even normal Void God Realm Kings won't be able to block this intent of death. As for those below the Void God Realm, they will definitely die." The Golden Skeleton said gloatingly. On the third floor of the Purple Saint Treasure Palace, Senior Purple Saint, please save Brother Zhao Feng. Zhao Yufei was extremely anxious and implored. Unless Master is at his peak, he might be able to suppress the mysterious Emperor of Death, but my partial spirit intent is about to dissipate. Even if I use all my strength, I only have a 30 to 40% chance of stopping him. If that happens, I'll die as well. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit shook her head bitterly. Once she died, the Purple Saint ruins would become an ownerless dimension that would slowly collapse. At that time, the three sects would attack head-on, and Zhao Feng and Zhao Yufei would die. So, the Purple Saint Partial Spirit couldn't help. Brother Zhao Feng. Zhao Yufei's eyes were filled with tears, but thinking about Zhao Feng's miracles in the past, she felt a glimmer of hope. At the same time, Zhao Feng was in danger of dying. His soul consciousness had gone out of control and was about to leave his body. No, impossible. Zhao Feng struggled in his heart, and he circulated his eye bloodline power to fight back. However, his soul intent was still being pulled out of his body. If one's cultivation reached the Void God Realm, they would be able to see an illusory body similar to Zhao Feng. It was mixed with an azure and purple aura, and it was slowly being pulled out of his body. Once his soul was pulled out, it was the same as taking away his right to live. Zhao Feng's struggle didn't have much effect. Half of his soul intent was about to leave his body. Pung, pung, pung. Zhao Feng's left eye twitched as if it was being pulled by an invisible force. Suddenly, the soul consciousness that was halfway separated froze. The intent of death seemed to meet some kind of resistance. If one looked closely, they would find that Zhao Feng's left eye was slightly more protruding than before. While the intent of death was pulling on Zhao Feng's soul intent, it was also pulling on the God's spiritual eye. So that's how it is. Zhao Feng grabbed onto a rope when he was about to fall into the abyss of despair. That rope was the God's spiritual eye. After so many years, the God's spiritual eye and Zhao Feng's soul intent had merged into one, and it was extremely compatible with his body. In other words, if the Eye of Death wanted to take away Zhao Feng's soul, it would have to take the God's spiritual eye with it. However, how could this powerful eye from the ancient era be taken away so easily? Pung, pung. The God's spiritual eye seemed to awaken from its slumber, and it gave off an aura that came from the ancient era. Suddenly, Zhao Feng felt as if he had turned into a giant god from the ancient era. His every action and thought shook the sun and moon. The aura of the ancient era. The purple saint partial spirit exclaimed. In that instant, she felt her purple saint ruins tremble. Before the aura of the primordial origin, all physical forces trembled uneasily. The eye of death within the token of death couldn't help but exclaim. Boom! The token of death immediately suffered the backlash of a mysterious aura from the ancient era. Crack! A crack appeared on the token of death. The light in the eye of death, which contained the intent of death, dimmed by more than half and revealed a surprised expression. God's eye. The aura of a God's eye. A voice sounded from the token of death, but it was only limited to the soul. The experts of the three sects didn't hear this voice. What's going on? The three kings couldn't help but be surprised. When the eye of death was about to take away Zhao Feng's soul, it met a strong resistance and even suffered a backlash. The source of all of this was Zhao Feng's left eye. God's eye. Zhao Feng's left eye is a God's eye. The purple saint partial spirit was in disbelief. Even the mysterious emperor of death, who had the eye of death's bloodline, couldn't be called a God's eye. The 8 great God eyes were unique, and they were the ancestors of all eye bloodlines. For example, the eye of samsara, the eye of space-time, and the eye of death might only have a small number of descendants, such as the emperor of death. However, every existence that could be called a God's eye was unique. At the moment, there were only the 8 great God eyes, and they were all unique. Apart from them, there were also descendants of the God eyes. But this Zhao Feng isn't one of the 8 great God eyes. The purple saint partial spirit shook her head. However, this came from the emperor of death, a descendant of the 8 great God eyes. Being a descendant of the 8 great God eyes, the emperor of death could sense the aura of God eyes. If it's not one of the 8 great God eyes, could it be the newly awakened 9th God's eye? The light from a token of death started to dim. The pair of pitch-black eyes of death twinkled as they stared at Zhao Feng and started to think. Whoosh, whoosh. Under the backlash of the god's spiritual eyes' primordial aura, the token of death quickly dimmed, and with a cracking sound, it turned into powder. The intent of the pursuit of death will continue until the day it ends. The instant the token of death shattered, a cold voice sounded in Zhao Feng's mind. Plop! On the other side, the skeletal division leader sat down on the ground. As for Zhao Feng, he remained motionless as his god's spiritual eye constricted. The wisp of ancient aura had awakened and had yet to dissipate. Chapter 559. In a limitless ocean on top of the mountain, the experts of the three sects stood there for a long time, unable to calm down. Even at the last moment, the intent of the pursuit of death wasn't able to take away Zhao Feng's soul. Where did Zhao Feng's eye bloodline come from? How can it fight against the eye of death? The experts of the three sects were puzzled. As they fought with Zhao Feng, they realized that this youth's potential seemed to be limitless. This was especially true for the mysterious left eye, which was an unsolvable mystery. Everyone started to wonder if Zhao Feng's eye bloodline was also a descendant of one of the God eyes. The 3 void God realm kings didn't understand. This was because Grandmaster Yin Kong had concluded that Zhao Feng's eye bloodline wasn't one of the 8 great God eyes. Zhao Feng's eye bloodline might be a mutation of one of the God eyes, or else it wouldn't be able to fight against the eye of death. There's another possibility. If Zhao Feng's bloodline is related to the 10,000 ancient races, it wouldn't be strange for him to be able to fight against the eye of death. After all, the power of the eye of death comes from another dimension, and it's completely different from the main body. The 3 void God realm kings discussed in private. A measly junior of the true lord rank was able to block the emperor of death's eye intent. This was indeed shocking. Even normal void God realm kings wouldn't be able to block the pursuit of death. Suddenly, the image in the sky above the towering mountain gradually dimmed, showing signs of instability. The image of the Purple Saint ruins couldn't be seen clearly anymore. What's going on? There was a commotion on the field. Everyone looked at the array masters who had set up the formation. Due to some weird reasons, the connection between the spatial splitting array and the Purple Saint ruins has been broken. adding on the fact that the Purple Saint Ruins flaws are becoming more and more complete. An array master explained. A while later, the projection on the towering mountain peak was already pitch black and murky. Everyone sighed. From this moment onwards, the three sects had no way of knowing what was going on inside the Purple Saint Ruins. An Origin Core Realm elder smiled and said, "Although we can't take the Purple Saint Ruins right now, there's one thing we can be sure of. Zhao Feng will die for sure." Zhao Feng would definitely die. Everyone's spirits were lifted when they heard this. Some people didn't understand, but the three Void God Realms nodded their heads in agreement. Apparently, if the token of death doesn't kill its target, the owner, the Emperor of Death, will personally take action. A few thousand years ago, an emperor was even hunted down by the Emperor of Death. The Saint Moon Ant Goddess smiled. Under normal circumstances, the token of death could kill most experts in this world. Even some Void God Realm kings weren't able to escape. Of course, if the token of death didn't kill the target, the will of death would continue. Up until now, no one had survived the Emperor of Death pursuit. Yeah, he's a great emperor after all, and he has the Eye of Death. Our three sects don't even have a single Void God Realm emperor. The other two kings also expressed their agreement. The power of an emperor at the Void God Realm far surpassed normal kings. The reason why Grandmaster Yin Kong had a token of death was because his grandfather had once helped the Emperor of Death, and the latter owed him a favor. Of course, the Emperor of Death is in another territory controlled by the spiritual sacred land. He's extremely far away from our spiritual sacred land and the Tianlu Islands. Looks like that Zhao Feng will be able to live for a while. Sighs sounded from the top of the mountain, and the number of people became fewer and fewer. Purple Saint Ruins, mysterious canyon. Zhao Feng stood still as his blue hair blew in the wind. His left eye still contained a wisp of the ancient era's aura. The connection between the three sects and the Purple Saint Ruins has been broken. Could this be the result of Zhao Feng's gods' eye clashing with the Eye of Death? The Purple Saint Partial Spirit was overjoyed. From this moment on, it would be extremely difficult for the three sects to enter the Purple Saint Ruins again. At the same time, the Purple Saint Partial Spirit and the Skeletal Division leader both noticed the change in Zhao Feng's body. Zhao Feng remained motionless for a long time with his eyes closed. He didn't move for a long time, but the wisp of the ancient era's aura in his left eye caused the entire dimension of the ruins to tremble. Within the dimension of his left eye, the deep blue lake of eye power had expanded to a radius of 25 to 6 yards after the stimulation from before. Because he had expended a lot of his eye bloodline power, the lake had expanded, but only a thin layer remained. The mysterious whirlpool in the center of the lake started to change. A wisp of ancient aura seeped out from the mysterious whirlpool. The whirlpool was invisible, but it did exist. Zhao Feng carefully sent a wisp of his consciousness into the whirlpool. Shua! Zhao Feng's consciousness suddenly went black. In the next instant, he entered a dreamlike state. Within the dream, Zhao Feng stood on a piece of desolate land. The aura here was extremely primal. Just by standing here, Zhao Feng felt a boundless pressure. His body and soul were facing an unimaginable weight. Of course, the aura here wasn't comparable to the heaven-earth yuan qi in the real world. Every speck of dust in the air seemed to contain limitless power. 1 breath, 2 breaths, 3 breaths. Wah! Zhao Feng couldn't hold on any longer and spat out a mouthful of blood. He couldn't even last more than a few breaths in this desolate land. Moreover, Zhao Feng's intuition told him that the god spiritual eye was able to neutralize the rejection of the earth and provide some protection. Otherwise, even if he was 10 times stronger, his body would explode and he would die. I can't hold on anymore. Zhao Feng's vision went black and he disappeared from the dreamlike land. Shua! Zhao Feng's consciousness returned to the real world, and his face was weak. There was a trace of blood at the corner of his mouth, but it was still warm. What? Zhao Feng's face paled as he wiped the blood from his mouth. Could it be that the ancient dream desolate land wasn't a fake world? Just what kind of existence is the desolate land in the dream? I couldn't even last 3 breaths of time there. Zhao Feng was deeply shocked. If the ancient desolate land really existed, it was definitely an extremely high-level space. Zhao Feng even suspected that the ancient desolate land in the dream was related to the ancient desolate land. In a short period of time, Zhao Feng was extremely weak, and he didn't dare to enter the mysterious whirlpool again. If the ancient desolate land really existed and there were some powerful beings that wanted to kill Zhao Feng, wouldn't they be able to do so with just a finger? After all, the injuries that Zhao Feng suffered were the same as the injuries in reality. This was simply unimaginable. Zhao Feng named the ancient dream realm the ancient dream realm. The ancient dream realm was something new that had appeared in the dimension of the god's spiritual eye due to the eye of death. I'll explore the ancient dream realm when I have time in the future. Zhao Feng calmed his mind. The most important thing right now was that Zhao Feng needed to take care of some problems. The token of death had failed to take away Zhao Feng's soul, but didn't give up. Every time Zhao Feng closed his eyes to meditate, he could feel the invisible aura of the eye of death in his soul. It was like a ghost was attached to him. Zhao Feng's eye bloodline and soul were one. As long as he circulated his eye bloodline, the eye of death's intent would become stronger. Zhao Feng tried everything he could, but he couldn't shatter the eye of death's intent. His eye bloodline power couldn't be compared to the Emperor of Death's. One was a true lord rank, while the other was a void god realm emperor. The difference was like heaven and earth. Above the 3 realms of the true spirit realm was the origin core realm. The origin core realm was split into the small origin core realm and the great origin core realm. Above the origin core realm was the void god realm. The void god realm was split into normal kings and peak emperors. From this, the difference between Zhao Feng and the Emperor of Death was huge. Zhao Feng, it's best if you don't use your eye bloodline. Every time you use your eye bloodline, it will increase the connection between you and the Emperor of Death. The purple saint partial spirit warned. Zhao Feng's heart dropped as his eyebrows furrowed. At his level, he couldn't do anything to the eye of death's intent. Senior Purple Saint, do you have a way? Zhao Feng could only ask the Purple Saint Partial Spirit for help. After all, the owner of the Purple Saint Partial Spirit was at the mystic light realm at her peak. I'm just an intent formed from a wisp of soul. I don't even have 1/10,000th of Master's power. I can only try and seal this intent of death for you. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit smiled bitterly. She was on the verge of dissipating. If she had enough power, she wouldn't need Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng sat down cross-legged and soon felt a wisp of remnant spirit intent enter his soul. 2 or 3 breaths later, the Purple Saint Partial Spirit harumphed as her partial spirit intent was bounced back. Zhao Feng, I'm sorry, but I can't seal this intent. I need at least a void god realm king that specializes in the Tao of the soul. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit said weakly. Is there really nothing you can do? Zhao Feng's heart was heavy. According to what the Purple Saint Partial Spirit said, the Emperor of Death would come looking for him sooner or later. No one had ever survived the pursuit of the Emperor of Death. I have a secret technique that can help you lower the sensitivity of the intent. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit thought for a while. The wisp of partial spirit intent soon circled around Zhao Feng's soul. Zhao Feng felt a mysterious aura appear around his soul. Zhao Feng, this is all I can do. I'll help you block at least 70% of the intent. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit's voice was filled with exhaustion. Thank you, Senior. Zhao Feng closed his eyes and found that the sense of danger from the god's spiritual eye had decreased. He then tried to circulate his bloodline power to block the god's spiritual eye. Instantly, Zhao Feng's left eye regained its dim black color. Blocking the eye bloodline has reached 90%. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. Of course, at this point in time, Zhao Feng was sure that he wouldn't be able to stay in the Purple Saint ruins. Chapter 560. On the same day, Zhao Feng told the Purple Saint Partial Spirit and Zhao Yufei that he wanted to leave the ruins. On the 3rd floor of the Relic Treasure Palace, the The purple saint partial spirit let out a sigh of regret, but she wasn't surprised and couldn't make him stay. Indeed, Zhao Feng couldn't stay in the purple saint ruins any longer. He had the intent of death left behind by the Emperor of Death, so wherever he was, he could attract calamity. If Zhao Feng stayed in the ruins, not only would he not be able to protect this place, but he would also bring more danger to this place. The three sects had already brought a lot of pressure to the Purple Saint ruins. If another peak emperor came, the consequences would be unimaginable. Zhao Feng naturally did not wish to see such a situation. Zhao Feng, if your eye bloodline is really a god eye, then it's the same as the 8 great god eyes. It's unique. The Purple Saint partial spirit said, God eye? Uniqueness? Zhao Feng suddenly recalled the divination that 6 Warlock Sage had given him. The 6 Warlock Divine Sage once speculated that Zhao Feng's God Spiritual eye had a chance of reaching the level of the 8 great god eyes. Every god eye is a connate object born after the destruction of the ancient era. There was only one of each of the 8 great god eyes in the world, and they were the progenitors. The other eye bloodlines of the same type only have a thin god eye bloodline. The Purple Saint partial spirit explained, doesn't that mean that as long as the death god eye exists, other death elemental eye bloodlines can't become the same type of god eye? Zhao Feng vaguely realized something. The Purple Saint partial spirit seemed to be reminding him of something. That's right. The 8 great god eyes are related to the laws of the world's origin. Each god eye can only have one at a time. The Purple Saint partial spirit nodded her head. Is there no other way to cultivate a god eye? Zhao Feng was baffled. No. The Purple Saint partial spirit shook her head. Normal eye bloodlines can't become a god's eye no matter how hard they cultivate. He paused for a moment. The Purple Saint partial spirit then said meaningfully, it's said that if you want to have a god's eye, you have to be extremely powerful. The only method is to kill a god eye ancestor and replace him or steal a god eye. Steal a god eye. Zhao Feng's heart shook as he understood what the Purple Saint partial spirit meant. That was to say, as long as the Emperor of Death stole Zhao Feng's god eye, he would become the ancestor of a god eye. I still have to remind you, although you've blocked over 90% of the intent of death from your body, the Emperor of Death can still sense your approximate location with his abilities. However, it's not very accurate. The Purple Saint partial spirit said. Junior understands. Even though Zhao Feng had blocked 90% of the aura of the will of death, the sense of danger still lingered. This was because Zhao Feng had only weakened the Emperor of Death's senses, not completely cut them off. Zhao Feng, you still have some time to prepare. You can take whatever resources you want from the Purple Saint ruins. You can take whatever resources you want from the Purple Saint ruins, and the Emperor of Death won't be able to catch up to you in a short amount of time. The Purple Saint partial spirit said with a smile. Thank you, Senior. Zhao Feng felt grateful. He had received a lot of resources from the 2 times he had entered the Purple Saint ruins. 3 days later, Zhao Feng's energy, soul, and eye bloodline power had all recovered to their peak. Next, Zhao Feng and the Skeletal Division leader started to gather rare materials. Of course, most of them were for the 100 Corpses plan. From now on, I can't use my eye bloodline easily, or else it will increase my connection with the Emperor of Death. The Ghost Corpse Cursed Array is an important part of my strength. Zhao Feng placed great importance on this. Half a month later, everything was prepared. There was a mountain of materials in Zhao Feng's ancient metal ring. Some were for the 100 Corpses plan, while others were rare and could be used in the future. During this time, the Skeletal Division leader successfully refined more cursed ghost corpses. At this point in time, the 100 Corpses plan was 60% complete. The Skeletal Division leader had recovered to its peak state, and the speed at which it refined ghost corpses increased. However, Zhao Feng's expectations for the 100 Corpses plan had increased dramatically. All of the cursed ghost corpses in the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array had reached the peak True Lord rank. The strength of the 2 Dark Silver Ghost Corpses had reached the half-step Origin Core realm after using up many resources from the ruins. Zhao Feng's goal was to make these 2 Dark Silver Ghost Corpses reach the Origin Core realm in the end. I've prepared enough materials, but I still need to get closer to my goal. On this day, Zhao Feng finally came out of seclusion. Third floor of the Purple Saint Treasure Palace. Zhao Feng saw the Purple Saint Partial Spirit and Zhao Yufei once again. Senior Purple Saint, everything's ready. I'm going to leave. Zhao Feng took a deep breath. Zhao Yufei's eyes were misty, and she was reluctant to leave. While Zhao Feng was in the ruins as a housekeeper, she had a fulfilling life every day, and her heart was at ease. Zhao Feng, where do you want to go? The Purple Saint Partial Spirit asked. Zhao Feng started to think. He already had an answer in his heart. Firstly, he couldn't go back to the Azure Flower Continent. At the very least, he couldn't go back before he avoided the danger. Furthermore, there was still a knot in his heart, and that was regarding his fiancée, Lu Qinxin. In his memory, the elegant and tranquil woman who was like a fairy from a painting, her every frown and every smile appeared in his mind. May I ask, Senior Purple Saint, if you know of an inheritance called the Sky Saint Qin? Zhao Feng asked. Sky Saint Qin inheritance? The Purple Saint Partial Spirit thought for a while and replied. From what I remember, there's a peak 2-star sect called the Sky Sacred Qin Palace in the southwest part of the Tsang Ocean that's controlled by the floating Dream Sacred Land. Sky Saint Qin Palace? Unorthodox and special? Hearing this, Zhao Feng couldn't help but reveal a look of joy. The master of the Purple Saint Partial Spirit was indeed worthy of being a mighty figure that shook the universe. She had seen many things. Zhao Feng had a feeling that the Sky Saint Qin Palace and the Sky Saint Qin inheritance had some sort of relationship. However, that's a memory from 10,000 years ago. I can't estimate the current situation. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit added, Senior, can you teleport me to an area a bit closer to the Sky Saint Qin Palace? Zhao Feng begged. He had 2 reasons for leaving the Purple Saint ruins. Firstly, he wanted to run for his life, and secondly, he wanted to go to the outside world to confirm Lu Qinxin's location. The Sky Saint Qin Palace is too far away from here. I can only send you a bit further. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit said bitterly. In the next day or two, the Purple Saint Partial Spirit started to prepare for the teleportation. She needed the crystal stones in the Purple Saint ruins to reduce her energy consumption. 2 days later, the preparations for the teleportation were ready. Zhao Feng, my partial spirit intent, is becoming thinner and thinner. I can only barely send you to the border of the Tianlu Islands. The Purple Saint Partial Spirit said apologetically. Zhao Feng was slightly surprised. Last time, the Purple Saint Partial Spirit could send him to the Azure Flower Continent, which was under the Azure Islands. But this time, after several years, the Purple Saint Partial Spirit's partial spirit intent was being used up and couldn't even send Zhao Feng to the outside of the Tianlu Islands. Thank you, Senior. However, even then, Zhao Feng felt satisfied. Before leaving, Brother Zhao Feng, why are you looking for the Sky Saint Qin inheritance? When can you return? Zhao Yufei's eyes reddened. She was reluctant to part with him. Zhao Feng didn't hide anything and told her why he was looking for Lu Qinxin. Lu Qinxin? Looking for your fiancé? Zhao Yufei stood rooted to the ground, stunned for a moment, as if she had suddenly received some bad news. Wang, a purple crystal door appeared on the 3rd floor of the treasure palace. We'll meet again. Zhao Feng stepped into the purple crystal door with a single step. Before he left, Zhao Feng found that Zhao Yufei was dazed and her face was full of pain and sadness. That scene caused his heart to tremble, and he felt an indescribable pain and regret. However, the instant he stepped into the door, Zhao Feng had already disappeared. Yufei! Yufei! The Purple Saint Partial Spirit quickly called. On the 3rd level of the palace, Zhao Yufei appeared to be in a daze as she stood there for a long time. Crystal clear tears finally rolled down her beautiful and pale face. Why? Zhao Yufei's voice trembled slightly, filled with grief and sorrow. She placed her hand on her chest, her delicate body trembling. She did not know where this kind of disappointment and indescribable pain came from. Although it wasn't heart-wrenching, it lasted for a long time. It was like rain washing the stone in front of a door. Thinking about it, it had been 6 to 7 years since Zhao Feng and Zhao Yufei left the Zhao clan in Sun Feather City. Yufei, don't be too pessimistic. From what I can see, there's a 99% chance that Zhao Feng's fiancée, Lu Qinxin, died in the inheritance. The purple saint partial spirit said. Zhao Yufei's sobbing voice paused. Thinking about it, Lu Qinxin was most likely dead since there was no news of her for so long. Even the sage of the six warlock had divined that something bad would happen to him. Zhao Feng's probably looking for Lu Qinxin because he doesn't want to leave a knot in his heart. You and him are childhood sweethearts. That kind of vague friendship is not something that Lu Qinxin can compare to. The purple saint partial spirit smiled and continued to console her. There were still traces of tears on Zhao Yufei's face, but the pain in her heart seemed to have disappeared. How good would it be if Lu Qinxin was already dead? A thought that made even Zhao Yufei feel ashamed and uneasy grew in her heart. At the same time, at the edge of the Tianlu Islands, a vast and boundless space was filled with a dusky sea of mist, vast and mysterious. This is the limitless ocean? Zhao Feng couldn't see the end of it. The limitless ocean was outside of the island, and it was different from land. Zhao Feng felt as if his body was weightless in the limitless ocean. Even if he didn't intentionally fly, his body was like a feather that floated in the air. The gravity and air resistance here were much lower than on land. Zhao Feng felt that if he flew here, his speed would be 10 times or even dozens of times faster than on land. My destination this time is another area ruled by the spiritual sacred land. It's in the Tsang Ocean. A map appeared in Zhao Feng's mind. It was provided by the purple saint partial spirit. However, right at this moment, Zhao Feng's heart jumped as he felt a familiar yet strange feeling along with a sense of danger. Furthermore, the source of this feeling wasn't the Emperor of Death, but something else. Zhao Feng's expression changed dramatically. Only then did he realize that he had overlooked something. Chapter 561. Tianlu Islands, Pure Moon Spiritual Sect. In the middle of a lake that was enshrouded by a dense and splendid light, a holy and dignified woman in a moon robe was lingering in the faint glow of the moon, like a white jade statue of the goddess of stars and moon. You finally appeared. The Saint Moon Ant Goddess's eyebrows jumped as a cold smile appeared on her lips. Whoosh! The Saint Moon Ant Goddess waved her hand, and a mottled giant scorpion appeared in front of her. Its body was comparable to a water buffalo, and had a pair of icy red eyes that shrunk, giving off an indescribable chill. At this moment, the giant scorpion's eyes flickered, and there was a slight struggle before it fell silent again. Pass on the order. Zhao Feng has appeared in the Tianlu Islands. He's probably near the 8 Desolate Mountain on the southern border. What experts are guarding the 8 Desolate Mountain? In the name of the Pure Moon Spiritual Sect, find Zhao Feng's location and offer a reward for his capture. The Saint Moon Ant Goddess flipped her hand over a special token. Invisible ripples spread out between the heavens and the earth. As a 2.5-star sect, the Pure Moon Spiritual Sect had a dominant position in the Tianlu Islands. Less than an hour later, the ripples of information reached outside the island region where the Pure Moon Spiritual Sect was located. It had to be known. The island region where the Pure Moon Spiritual Sect was located was several times larger than the Azure Flower Continent. In the entire Tianlu Islands, there were dozens of islands of a similar size. Even a Void God Realm King, like the Saint Moon Ant Goddess, wouldn't be able to personally chase after Zhao Feng in such a large area. Crackle, suddenly, a wisp of invisible and obscure psychic fluctuation flashed across the giant scorpion's body. This Zhao Feng reacted quickly. He's already severed the blood contract with his spiritual pet. The Saint Moon Ant Goddess's expression darkened. At the same time, far away in the distance, in the sea of space, I can only give up on this giant scorpion. Zhao Feng opened his eyes, and his mind trembled as he groaned. Forcefully erasing the blood contract with the giant scorpion had injured Zhao Feng's mind. Zhao Feng felt slightly more at ease after doing all this. Without the giant mutated scorpion's spiritual connection, the three great sects couldn't sense his location at all times. I have to leave the Tianlu Islands region as soon as possible. Zhao Feng's expression was solemn. Before departing, Zhao Feng had a preliminary understanding of the situation in the Outer Realms. In the Tianlu Archipelago region, the three strongest factions were naturally the pure Moon Spirit sect, Black Cliff Palace, and Moon Demon Hall. They controlled dozens of so-called continents similar in size to the Azure Flower continent. Zhao Feng was enemies with the three sections. Now that he had appeared in this island zone, how could he still have a foothold? Thankfully, the Purple Saint partial spirit teleported Zhao Feng to the edge of the Tianlu Islands, the Tianlu Archipelago region, near the ancient tree region, 8 Desolate Mountain. A set of map information appeared in Zhao Feng's mind. This map recorded the geographical location of the entire Ash Gray Sea. The Ash Gray Sea was a vast and boundless sea region of the Void Sea. On the map, there were hundreds of islands similar to the Tianlu Archipelago region and the ancient Azure Islands region. The Azure Flower continent that Zhao Feng was originally on was just a small part of the ancient Azure Islands region. From this, just how big was the Ash Gray Sea? Furthermore, aside from these islands, the Ash Gray Sea also had many small, isolated islands or some special geographical features. For example, the nearby 8 Desolate Mountain. 8 Desolate Mountain. After passing through several million miles, I'll be able to leave the Tianlu Archipelago region. Zhao Feng's body was surrounded by the light of wind lightning. Whoosh! A purple and azure beam of wind lightning tore through the limitless ocean. The limitless ocean wasn't just a normal ocean. In this world, every dimension is a misty ocean. The higher you go, the thinner and fainter the mist. The lower you go, the thicker the mist. As Zhao Feng flew, he kept his guard up. The void misty sea was home to some alien races, all sorts of strange sea creatures, and even some natural threats. The bottom layer of the misty ocean was extremely viscous. When a misty ocean formed water droplets, it was a true ocean. The ocean wasn't suitable for humans to live in. In reality, in a limitless ocean, only the islands and sacred lands were suitable for humans to live in. After the ancient desolate continent was destroyed, billions of grains of dust were scattered across heaven and earth. These grains formed domains that were suitable for normal beings to live in. For humans, the limitless ocean was a desolate domain. Only a small number of beasts and races could live here. Shoo! Zhao Feng flew faster and faster through the limitless ocean. He was already 10 times faster than when he was in the Azure Flower continent. In a limitless ocean, the air resistance and gravity were extremely low. Even those at the Consolidated Realm and Ascended Realm could easily fly here. However, the air here was extremely thin and the pressure was abnormal. Those below the True Spirit Realm could explode and die if they entered the limitless ocean. At the very least, they wouldn't be able to survive for a long time. The Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi is also very thin. If I fly for too long, I'll need primal crystal stones. Zhao Feng couldn't help but sigh. Gulu, after flying for tens of thousands of miles, thick bubbles of essence qi appeared in the seawater beneath the sea of fog. In the deep sea, there is a specific region of Yuan Qi. However, there are usually some alien races or powerful demon beasts living there. Zhao Feng was wary. He usually didn't get too close to the ocean while flying. Several large, black figures suddenly rose from the water, stirring up waves of water. Their powerful demonic auras far surpassed the beasts Zhao Feng had encountered in the Azure Flower continent. Looking closely, it was several black water snakes. Each of them was as thick as a bucket and 7 or 8 yards long. The black water snakes were extremely strong and could fly freely in the air after charging out of the ocean. This was because the gravity and air resistance in the limitless ocean were extremely low. Furthermore, these black water snakes had powerful auras and weren't normal beings. See, these pitch-black water snakes seemed to have some sort of sense of smell, and they shot through the air toward Zhao Feng from a distance of more than a dozen miles. Each of these water snakes has the strength of at least the true mystic rank, right? Zhao Feng didn't retreat. He wanted to test the strength of the beings in the limitless ocean. He had heard from Patriarch Hong that the minimum requirement to travel across the limitless ocean was to be at the True Lord rank. Normal True Lord ranks were in great danger and wouldn't be able to survive in the outer world. The danger would decrease after reaching the half-step Origin Core realm. Only those at the Origin Core realm would be able to enter the outer world without worry. Patriarch Hong had suggested that Zhao Feng enter the outer world after reaching the half-step Origin Core realm. However, Zhao Feng didn't have the cultivation of the half-step Origin Core realm yet. Destroy. Zhao Feng gently raised his hand and sent several azure blades of wind and lightning through the air. Shoo! Shoo! The black water snakes' bodies were sliced in half and blood splattered as their corpses fell into the ocean. They can't threaten me if they haven't reached the Origin Core realm. Zhao Feng smiled faintly. Goo goo goo. All of a sudden, the seawater within a radius of several hundred miles surged violently, and waves surged violently. Zhao Feng suddenly felt uneasy. Because he couldn't easily use his god's spiritual eye, he didn't understand the situation in the ocean too well. He sent out a sliver of his spiritual sense and jumped up in fright. Even though Zhao Feng's spiritual sense was limited in the limitless ocean, his spiritual sense was limited. A sudden change occurred. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Within several hundred miles, large amounts of beasts, mainly water snakes, leapt out of the ocean and entered the limitless ocean. Some of these beasts were as small as a palm, while others were as big as small mountains. All of the creatures in the void sea could leave the sea for a short period of time and soar through the void sea. Woo! More than a dozen large beasts had auras comparable to half-step Origin Core realms. They were probably even stronger than normal half-step Origin Core realms. Furthermore, the other large amounts of black water snakes all had auras at the true spirit realm. These beasts seemed to follow the source of the smell of blood and charged over. Run! Zhao Feng's scalp went numb as he saw more and more beasts appear. Some of them even flew above his head. Wind Lightning Tornado. Zhao Feng used an area of effect wind lightning tornado that swept across a radius of 1 to 2 miles. In an instant, large swaths of the limitless ocean beasts and living beings that got close to Zhao Feng died, and their blood formed an ocean. However, the aura of blood and slaughter attracted more and more powerful beasts. Zhao Feng heard a deep roar come from the depths of the ocean. There was probably a beast at the Origin Core realm that had sensed something and was heading in this direction. In a short while, tens of thousands of beasts charged out of the limitless ocean and entered the limitless ocean. Master, this is probably your first time entering the limitless ocean. This is the territory of the limitless ocean beasts, and we can't leave any blood behind or else countless powerful beasts will come. The skeletal division leader within the 10,000 Ghost Pearl was also alerted. Zhao Feng knew that he had made a huge mistake. Let's get out of this area first. Under the guidance of the skeletal division leader, Zhao Feng flew higher and passed through some of the creatures in the limitless ocean. However, he couldn't fly too high. If they were too high up, there would be terrifying astral winds. Even venerables would be torn to pieces. Furthermore, if he flew too high, the limitless ocean would be burned by the ancient golden crow. Even a void god realm king's body and soul would be burnt to ashes if they were directly hit by the primordial golden crow. Human, where do you think you're going? Among the sea creatures, there were even some humanoid creatures with skin like fish scales. They held long tridents in their hands and spoke the human language. Whoosh! Zhao Feng didn't have time to pay attention to them. He flew 1,000 miles in one go and tried not to fight. Only then did the number of beasts decrease. The heaven-earth yuan qi in the limitless ocean is thin. It's not suitable for humans to fight here for too long. Zhao Feng felt that his true force was being used up quickly and being replenished quickly. If this continued, he would need primal crystal stones and other items to recover. At the same time, a few dozen miles behind Zhao Feng, a ship covered in metal flew over. It was around 20 to 30 yards long. The color of the ship was similar to the limitless ocean, and it was hard to detect. Boss seems to be an idiot. He dares to enter the limitless ocean alone with his late-stage, true Lord rank cultivation. Some ferocious figures appeared on the gray metal ship. Look at this brat's poor appearance. Rob him. We won't be able to get anything out of him and will instead expose our tracks. Chapter 562. Who? Zhao Feng let out a breath after killing his way out. Master, we've been targeted by a group of pirates. The skeletal division leader spoke from within the 10,000 ghost pearl. Void pirates? Zhao Feng didn't pay much attention when he was trying to break out, but he did notice something now. The main reason was that Zhao Feng had the aura of death in his soul, so he couldn't easily use the god's spiritual eye. Even if he used his spiritual sense, Zhao Feng couldn't use it in a large area. In essence, the senses of spiritual sense also came from a mind and soul. Void pirates are a group of bandits that roam the void sea. They usually work in groups and rob traveling merchants and pedestrians. However, from the looks of it, they don't seem to be planning on doing anything to Master. The skeletal division leader revealed a weird expression as it spoke. It specialized in the Tao of the ghost, so its mental energy senses were extremely sharp. The conversation of the pirates on the gray ship didn't escape the skeletal division leader's ears. What made the skeletal division leader want to laugh and cry was that these pirates thought that Zhao Feng was poor and didn't have anything to offer, so they didn't bother robbing him. The skeletal division leader didn't know how to describe what it was feeling. The wealth that Zhao Feng had was something that even an old Origin Core realm like it would go crazy with jealousy. Putting aside the Earth-grade inheritance weapon and the 10,000 ghost pearl, just the resources that Zhao Feng had probably surpassed a normal one-star sect. Before leaving, Zhao Feng had excavated a large amount of resources in the Purple Saint ruins, filling up the majority of his ancient metal ring. These pirates would never have thought that this youth in front of them had so much wealth that they wouldn't be able to catch up even if they robbed for hundreds or thousands of years. So. At this moment, there were still a few scattered sea creatures in the vicinity, all of them rushing over to pursue Zhao Feng. Although Zhao Feng had escaped, he wasn't completely out of danger. Go! He didn't dare to stay any longer and continue to fly away. In his mind, the geography of the Qianlu archipelago region and this border region appeared with great clarity. This area belongs to the 8 Desolate Mountain. Zhao Feng looked ahead. Unfortunately, his left eye had returned to its normal black color and was unable to see through the mist, much less into the distance. Whoosh in the fog sea behind him, the gray metal ship was flying steadily and silently. The gray metal ship was covered in armor. The material was hard and strange. Attacks from ordinary sea creatures couldn't even leave a mark on it. The interior of the metal ship had its own layout. There were at least dozens of rooms. In the middle, there was even a small meeting hall. Boss, that Brad is actually flying along the same route as us. Will it interfere with our plan? One of them, a scar-faced thug, said in a stern voice. He doesn't know what's good for him. Let's go over and get rid of him. No matter how thin a fly's leg is, it's still meat. The pirates were getting impatient. At this moment, Zhao Feng, who was flying in front, attracted the attention of this pirate crew. Apart from that, Zhao Feng's flight path and speed were very close to that of the gray ship. Endure it for a while. At the head of the table was a scholarly youth in blue. He was extremely handsome and didn't fit in with the vicious appearance of the pirate leader. The pirate leader in blue seemed to be deep in thought. There are more sea creatures nearby, and there's even the aura of a sovereign not long ago. If this brat affects our plan, killing him 10,000 times won't be enough to make up for it. As they spoke, the pirates were filled with disdain for Zhao Feng's existence, and they were still brooding over it. They couldn't kill him, but it would affect their mood if they didn't. Whoosh! Zhao Feng followed the map in his mind and flew forward. However, What made him speechless was that the pirates behind him were staring at him and not doing anything. The skeletal division leader didn't understand. At this moment, the pirates had all entered the interior of the metal ship, so it didn't dare to go too deep. After flying for tens of thousands of miles, the silhouette of a huge mountain range loomed in the distant sky, standing tall in the sea of void. In the sea of void, the higher one went, the thinner the sea of mist became. In the end, it became even brighter. Therefore, even from far away, one could see the outline of the mountain range. That's the 8 Desolate Mountain. Zhao Feng could feel the heaven-earth Yuan Qi here. Although it wasn't as dense as the Azure Flower Continent, it was still several times denser than normal. According to the map, the 8 Desolate Mountain was the only place that was suitable for humans to live in within several million miles. In the limitless ocean, apart from islands like the Green Flower Continent, there were many other places that weren't truly continents. These places included deserts, mountains, swamps, lakes, etc. Apart from that, there were also many strange and unimaginable places. The 8 Desolate Mountain in front of them was the size of the cloud area, and it was mainly made up of mountains. At the same time, "Boss, the target has appeared." The expressions of the pirates on the gray ship changed. The pirate leader in blue nodded his head faintly. "We can attack when we're a bit closer. Humph, when I make my move later, I'll get rid of that brat as well." The scarred pirate licked his lips. So, the gray ship sped up. Zhao Feng, who was flying at the front, felt that something was wrong. It wasn't just the pirate ship behind him. So, after traveling for another few hundred miles, a small dark blue ship appeared in the fog ahead. The dark blue fortress ship was the size of an ordinary 3-story building. It was surrounded by a layer of faint blue wind, and it rode the wind and waves in the sea of void mist. As soon as Zhao Feng got close, he felt several powerful auras, all at the half-step origin core realm. These pressuring energies seemed to be warning Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng was alone in this foreign land, so he obviously didn't want to attract any trouble, so he decided to take a detour. Haha! A measly late stage, true lord rank dares to travel alone in the limitless ocean? Could this brat be some young master that ran away from home? Several figures appeared on the dark blue ship, and when they saw Zhao Feng's figure, they teased him with playful expressions. Obviously, it was rare for someone at the true lord rank to travel alone in the limitless ocean. On the dark blue ship, the leader was an elder with his hands behind his back. The people next to him were all at the half-step origin core realm. Origin core realm. Zhao Feng felt a faint mental energy aura coming from the elder in flower robes. The elder in flowery robes only faintly glanced over Zhao Feng and didn't pay him much attention. The closest island is tens of millions of miles away. His cultivation isn't much different from mine, but he's able to cross the limitless ocean. Incredible. The voice of a girl sounded. Next to the sovereign elder was an ordinary-looking girl. Her eyes twinkled as she looked at Zhao Feng with admiration. Hearing this, some of the figures who were laughing were stunned. It wasn't normal for a measly late-stage, true lord rank to be able to cross the limitless ocean by himself and come out unharmed. There's definitely something wrong with this youth. The eyes of several older experts on the dark blue ship twinkled with suspicion and wariness. Zhao Feng was just about to go around the ship when he felt the suspicious gazes and heard their conversation. He almost rolled his eyes. Right at this moment, a chilling, murderous intent came from the sea of mist behind him. Whoosh! The gray ship sped up and closed in. The sovereign elder felt that Zhao Feng's existence was weird and started to scan with his spiritual sense. Everyone watch out. There's an ambush from the pirates nearby. His expression changed dramatically as he scanned with his spiritual sense. Instantly, more than a dozen figures on the dark blue ship acted as if they were facing a great enemy. I told you there's definitely something wrong with this brat. I'm afraid he's a spy from the Void Pirate Group. Several of the older experts, including the Sovereign Elder, glared at Zhao Feng with enmity. But now, the focus wasn't on Zhao Feng anymore. On the gray metal ship, Dozens of powerful and brutal auras tore through the air and approached them. The leader of the pirates was a blue-clothed scholar. As he flew, he carried an indescribably vast yuan qi power, causing wisps of light blue water, lightning ripples to appear. Without a doubt, this pirate in blue also had the cultivation of the origin core realm. Not good. It's the blue lightning pirates. The old man's heart sank, and he couldn't help but take a deep breath while he gazed at the blue-clothed scholar with a gaze that carried deep fear. Blue lightning pirates, one of the top 10 pirate groups near the 8 Desolate Mountain. Chaos broke out on the dark blue ship. Whoosh! The blue lightning pirates had the weakest cultivation at the peak True Lord rank, and there were 5 or 6 at the half-step origin core realm. The dozen or so people on the ship formed an array as if they were facing a great enemy. The blue lightning pirates had the advantage in terms of numbers and the quality of their elites. As soon as the two sides clashed, screams came from the ship. Blue lightning pirates, stop. I don't have anything valuable on this ship. If you want a ransom, we can talk about it. There's no need to fight to the death. The sovereign elder quickly stopped him. Usually, void pirates would come for treasures. Essentially, it was a kind of resource robbery. Sometimes, merchant groups were willing to pay a fee or ransom to ensure the safety of the people. Old Huang, I don't need any ransom. As long as you hand over Lady Lulan, I'll let you live. The scholar in blue smiled faintly. Lady Lulan? How do you know? The flower-robed venerable was aghast. His heart sank in disbelief. The blue-clad scholar did not attack for now. He smiled faintly as he looked at the plain-looking, bright-eyed girl beside the flower-clothed venerable. Impossible. The sovereign elder's voice was cold. Even if I die, I'll bring Lady Lulan back to the Pure Moon spiritual sect. The Lulan family is on her. Kill everyone. Capture Lulan Zhishui alive. The scholar in blue ordered. Instantly, the two sides started a fight in the air. So that's how it is. Zhao Feng couldn't help but understand why this pirate group hadn't done anything to him yet. However, it didn't seem to have anything to do with him. Zhao Feng's expression didn't change as he prepared to go around. Zhezhe, you want to run in front of the blue lightning pirates? A scarred man with 2 peak True Lord ranks charged in Zhao Feng's direction. Chapter 563. The two sides started fighting on the limitless sea. The Void Pirates had an overwhelming advantage. The pirates were vicious and experienced. They split up and surrounded the ship. Boom! The two sovereigns clashed in the air, and the heaven-earth yuan qi howled and created a storm that swept across dozens of miles. Everlasting water lightning. The blue-clothed pirate leader waved his hand, and waves of dazzling water and lightning splendor appeared, combining toughness and gentleness to form a water screen with a diameter of 1,000 feet. Whoosh! Whoosh! When the old man's palms approached the lightning pattern on the water screen, they were instantly weakened and dissipated. A portion of them was even absorbed by the lightning pattern. In the next instant, the limitless water lightning pattern glowed dazzlingly and formed a reverse vortex. The raging water lightning created an immeasurable backlash. Bam! After exchanging a blow, the old man was forced back a few steps and let out a muffled groan. The information was indeed correct. Old man Huang, you're only a measly middle stage, small origin core realm. Even if you weren't injured, you wouldn't be my match. The blue-clothed pirate leader was relaxed as he circulated his profound water lightning Upanishad to suppress the venerable one. So, the sovereign on the ship was still injured and could only use 70 to 80% of his battle power. The origin core realm is split into the small origin core realm and the great origin core realm, which are split into early, middle, and late stages. Zhao Feng's gaze swept over the two sovereigns. The sovereign was at the middle stage, small origin core realm, and his strength was roughly the same as the skeletal division leader. On the other hand, the pirate leader in blue was at the late stage, small origin core realm. Whether it was in terms of cultivation or the profoundness of their battle skills, the blue-clothed pirate leader was far superior. What interested Zhao Feng the most was that the pirate leader in blue cultivated the water lightning inheritance. Water lightning, wood lightning, wind lightning. These were all inheritances related to lightning. Zhao Feng's wind lightning inheritance focused on speed and offense. On the other hand, the pirate leader in blue's water lightning inheritance focused on both offense and defense. In terms of defense, the pirate leader in blue's water lightning inheritance had the advantage. Little featherhead, how dare you get distracted in front of us? The scarred man led the other two pirates and charged over with a ferocious momentum. However, this youth did not seem to be in the right state of mind. To think that he had the time to pay attention to the battle between two primal core cultivators. This is probably the kid's first time entering the Void Sea. He has never seen such a grand scene before. The other peak, true Lord rank pirate, was full of disdain. Swoosh! Swoosh! The Scarface man and the other two pirates quickly surrounded Zhao Feng. One of the peak, true Lord ranks waved a silver whip that turned into a silver dragon that wrapped around Zhao Feng. Supreme Great Spirit rank divine weapon. Zhao Feng showed surprise on his face. The strength of these pirates surpassed his expectations. After all, the Dark Oriole used by the vice leader of the Iron Blood sect was only close to the top grade of the Spirit rank, and it might even be comparable to the top grade of the Spirit rank. On the other hand, on the Void Sea, an ordinary pirate used a powerful spiritual supreme grade divine weapon right off the bat. But on second thought, the minimum requirement to travel the limitless ocean was to be a true Lord rank. These Void pirates were able to rob the merchants on the Void Sea. In their respective regions, they were definitely peerless experts who commanded the wind and clouds. Showing the blink of an eye, the silver dragon whip howled, sealing off Zhao Feng's path of retreat. The one who attacked was only one of the pirates. The other two had playful expressions as if they were watching a good show. It was obvious that they thought that one person was enough to kill Zhao Feng. The reason why they sent three was because they were wary of Zhao Feng's speed. Fuck off. Zhao Feng didn't dodge the silver dragon whip. Instead, an azure light appeared on his palm, and a powerful ripple of wind and lightning swept across everything within 100 yards. Woo! The pirate who attacked harumphed as his body went numb. Shwa! Before he could react, a dazzling ray of wind and thunder split his body apart at lightning speed. Arg! The peak true Lord rank screamed and died on the spot. This scene made the hearts of the scar-faced man and the other peak true Lord rank jump. So fast, the two were dazed for a short period of time. They originally thought that they would be able to kill this brat, but in the blink of an eye, he had killed a pirate. Watch out. This brat's wind lightning inheritance is extremely profound. The scar-faced man's eyes flashed as he released the aura of a half-step origin core realm. The remaining two pirates had solemn expressions and didn't dare to underestimate Zhao Feng. Even the scar-faced man, who was at the half-step origin core realm, wasn't confident that he could kill a peak true Lord rank pirate in one move. Kill! The scar-faced man and the other pirate exchanged glances and attacked Zhao Feng together. The attacks of the half-step origin core realm and peak true Lord rank enveloped Zhao Feng with a gust of wind. This power could instantly kill a normal true Lord rank with the flip of a hand. AI. A sigh sounded from the 10,000 Ghost Pearl. The skeletal division leader felt sorry for these pirates. More than one or two sovereigns had died in Zhao Feng's hands, let alone these small shrimps. Even if Zhao Feng couldn't easily use his eye bloodline, he could basically ignore anyone under the origin core realm. Shwa! The attacks of the two pirates destroyed the afterimages left behind. Arg! The other peak true Lord rank screamed as he was sliced in half by a blade of wind and lightning. See, the scar-faced man couldn't help but take in a cold breath. Even a half-step origin core realm wouldn't be able to catch up to this youth's speed. A peak true Lord rank pirate could be killed like a carrot in front of him. What's going on? The deaths of two pirates in a row by Zhao Feng caught the attention of the other pirates. Even the blue-clothed pirate leader, who was in the middle of battle, glanced over. However, before the pirates could figure out what was going on, Zhao Feng attacked for the third time and slashed the Scarface man. Whoosh! It was still a flash of wind and lightning, but there was a wisp of purple lightning that made the hearts of the spectators tremble instinctively. 8 slaughter sky, sealing fist. The scar-faced man exerted all of his strength and unleashed his trump card. He struck out 8 illusory fist imprints that faintly emitted an ancient and barbaric aura. Layers upon layers of seals enveloped this part of the world. One had to admit that the scar-faced man's strength had surpassed Tiamat's and many half-step origin core realms in the Azure Flower continent. However, the scarred man's powerful secret technique was destroyed by the purple destruction tempest. It couldn't even withstand a single blow. Arg! The scar-faced man's body was sliced in half, leaving behind 2 pieces of charred flesh. This scene caused the hearts of both the pirates and the ship to shake. This youth's battle power is terrifying. Respect and even fear appeared in the eyes of the 2 sides. In an instant, a half-step origin core realm and 2 true lord ranks have been slain by this youth. This youth isn't simple. I'm the top genius in the 8 desolate mountain, but compared to him, I'm nothing. The bright-eyed girl, Lulan Jishui, clicked her tongue and found it hard to calm down. After losing 3 pirates, the situation attracted the attention of the blue-clothed pirate leader. Could that youth's technique be? The blue-clothed pirate leader was surprised when he noticed the situation. It wasn't just Zhao Feng's strength. The profoundness of his wind-lightning technique also attracted the attention of the blue-clothed pirate leader. The blue-clothed pirate leader cultivated the water and lightning lineage's legacy cultivation method. However, he knew that it wasn't comparable to Zhao Feng's wind-lightning inheritance. Hong San Jiaoxi, with a wave of his hand, the blue-clothed bandit leader beat the flower-robed venerable man until he vomited blood. Then, he ordered his 2 capable subordinates to take action. Boss, we'll stall that brat. Among the void pirates attacking the ship, 2 small leaders with powerful auras retreated. One of them was an elder with a walking stick, and the other was an ugly man wearing a unique set of scales. Both of their cultivations were at the half-step origin core realm, but their auras were stronger than the scarred man's. Brat, how dare you kill my brother? I'll skin you layer by layer. The scaly man sneered as a broken crimson-black blade appeared in his hand. The scarlet-black blade radiated a wisp of the terrifying aura of an earth-grade weapon, and the nearby beings all felt a suffocating pressure. Broken earth-grade weapon. Zhao Feng's eyes narrowed. The walking stick elder's was even more unique, and its aura was between the peak spiritual grade and low-tier earth grade. Pseudo-earth grade weapon. The skeletal division leader in the 10,000 Ghost Pearl exclaimed. Zhao Feng had heard about pseudo-earth grade weapons. They were made from a broken earth grade weapon and merged with the essence of a spiritual grade weapon to create a complete weapon. Although pseudo-earth grade weapons weren't as strong as true earth grade weapons, they were more complete than broken earth grade weapons. Brat, stay behind. The old man with the walking stick and the scaly man made their moves at the same time. The illusory figures of 2 earth-grade divine weapons appeared in the sky, faintly emitting a divine might that looked down on the world. Zhao Feng's expression changed as he was trapped by the auras of the 2 earth-grade weapons. With these 2 teaming up, they'll be able to stall even normal sovereigns for a while. The wind lightning on Zhao Feng's body became brighter, and wisps of destruction wind lightning started to appear. Shua! Shua! Zhao Feng's speed and the power of his attacks rose to a whole new level. Ha! Boom! A layer of wind and lightning swept out, forming a vast storm that emitted an aura of destruction that could penetrate the very essence of living beings. The walking stick elder and the ugly man weren't scared at all as they teamed up to destroy the tornado of wind lightning. However, at the same time, a dazzling lightning shadow charged out of the combined attack of the 2 and launched another counterattack. Purple destruction, wind, lightning whip. A whip of wind lightning formed in Zhao Feng's hand. It was dozens of yards long and contained the power of wind, lightning, yuan qi. Pa! Pa! Boom! As the purple destruction wind lightning whip danced in the air, wind and lightning exploded. It was filled with a destructive wind and lightning aura as it fought fiercely with the two pirate captains. What kind of inheritance did this brat cultivate? His battle power is terrifying. The two pirate leaders had a broken Earth-grade weapon and a pseudo-Earth-grade weapon, but they couldn't gain any advantage. Purple destruction, wind lightning? Could it really be the inheritance of the legendary wind lightning emperor? On the other side, the blue-clothed bandit leader's heart began to beat rapidly. He was completely attracted to this battle. Chapter 564. Could it really be the inheritance of the legendary wind lightning emperor? The pirate leader's heart skipped a beat as his attention was attracted. The cultivation technique he cultivated was of the water lightning lineage. Naturally, he had a certain understanding of the lightning Dao's inheritances and the many legendary figures. In the vast Song Sea, the Wind Thunder Emperor was definitely one of the best among the legendary figures of the Tao of Thunder. 10,000 years ago, the Wind Lightning Emperor shocked several spiritual sacred lands, and his speed was unparalleled in the Tsang Ocean. As an inheritor of the Tao of Lightning, the pirate leader had obviously heard of the legends of the Wind Lightning Emperor. According to all the signs, he suspected that this youth might have received some of the inheritance of the Wind Lightning Emperor. This brat's speed has surpassed the half-step origin core realm, and he's using the unique purple destruction wind lightning from the Wind Lightning Emperor's inheritance. To be able to fight against Hong, San, and Jiao Si by himself was not something an ordinary inherited realm expert could do. One has to know that Hong San and Jiao Si once teamed up to stop an origin core realm. The pirate leader analyzed and became more and more certain of his guesses. Greed appeared in his eyes, and he couldn't control the excitement in his heart. That was the legacy of a great emperor. Furthermore, the Wind Lightning Emperor wasn't a normal void god realm emperor. Almost no one in the Tsang Ocean could do anything to him. Purple destruction, wind lightning whip. Zhao Feng used the secret technique of wind lightning and fought against the two pirate leaders by himself. He wasn't at a disadvantage at all, and he even had the upper hand. Stop him! The elder with the walking stick and the ugly man became more and more shocked as they fought. They didn't think they could kill Zhao Feng, so they followed the pirate leader's orders and stopped Zhao Feng first. The battle power of these two is even stronger than Lu Qianni before he became a origin core realm. Zhao Feng's expression changed slightly. If he didn't take out some killing moves, he wouldn't be able to finish them off in a short amount of time. After all, these two pirate leaders could fight against an origin core realm sovereign if they teamed up. Zhao Feng wasn't impatient. He had comprehended more than 1/5 of the purple wind lightning, but he hadn't used it much in actual combat. The strength of these two pirate leaders was not bad, and they were suitable to be used as test subjects. Otherwise, Zhao Feng only needed to use the Ice Imperial Spear or activate the Ghost Corp's Cursed Array to end the battle in a short time. He didn't even need to do anything. The Skeletal Division leader would be able to deal with it. During the battle, Zhao Feng continued to use the purple destruction wind lightning profundity in his mind. Through actual combat, he tried to verify some of his guesses. Swoosh! Zhao Feng's speed increased as he weaved through the wind and lightning. The purple destruction wind lightning aura on his body became more refined and smooth. He didn't need to use the wings of Tempest to be faster than the other two. As the battle continued, the elder with the walking stick and the scale-skinned man grew more and more fearful. The pressure they faced didn't decrease, but increased instead. At the same time, the people on the ship were surrounded, and they were not out of danger yet. Thankfully, on the pirate side, the old man with the walking stick and the scaly man were sent away. Zhao Feng also killed 3 of them. The people on the ship were able to hold on for a while. However, the leader of the ship, the sovereign in multicolored clothes, was in danger. Old man Huang, with your injured body, you won't be able to escape if you can hold on for another half the time it takes to make tea. The expression of the scholar in blue was grim. The sovereign in multicolored clothes didn't care about the price, and this made him angry. At this moment, the pirate in blue was worried that Zhao Feng would run away. More accurately speaking, run away. This was because Zhao Feng's speed surpassed the two pirate leaders. It wouldn't be hard for him to run away. However, it wasn't easy to kill a sovereign in a short amount of time, even if it was an injured sovereign. On the other side, Zhao Feng's advantage became bigger and bigger. In his mind, in a dilapidated wind, lightning, inheritance world, all sorts of wind, lightning energies appeared in various forms. Zhao Feng focused his comprehension on the purple destruction wind lightning. Through the battle, Zhao Feng's understanding of the laws of wind lightning had been tested, and he had comprehended some small details. Purple destruction, wind lightning, snake dance. The wind lightning whip in Zhao Feng's hand became more condensed, and the power of destruction wind lightning contained within it became purer and purer. Furthermore, the wind lightning whip was like a living snake of wind and lightning. Its attacks were tricky, penetrating and entangling with Xiao Chun. With the naked eye, Zhao Feng seemed to be surrounded by snakes of wind lightning that danced around him. They left behind afterimages as they attacked relentlessly. Whoosh! Bam! Boom! The elder with the walking stick and the scaly man were completely beaten up. Zhao Feng's mental energy level was also extremely high, comparable to an Origin Core realm sovereign. The power he could unleash from the wind, lightning, inheritance rose dramatically. I can't fight for long. Zhao Feng increased his offense and fully unleashed the intent of a sovereign. Although he had cut off the blood contract with the scorpion, it still attracted the attention of the three sections. Not good. On the other side, the expression of the pirate leader in blue changed dramatically. In his field of vision, the unknown youth was beating the two elite leaders of the Blue Thunder Pirate group, forcing them to retreat. Arg! The elder with the walking stick and the scaly man screamed as scorch marks appeared on their bodies. Zhao Feng's attacks contained the power of destruction, and the injuries caused by it were hard to recover. In just a short while, the two pirate leaders began to retreat, their injuries piling up. However, how could their speed compare to Zhao Feng's? Arg! The scaly man screamed as one of his legs was wrapped by the wind lightning snake whip. His body twitched and black smoke came out. Crack! He had sacrificed one of his legs and burned his source of true spirit to save his life. Shua! Zhao Feng's figure flashed once again, and the wind lightning snake whip hit the back of the elder with a walking stick. Wah! The elder with the walking stick spat out a mouthful of blood and was pushed back 100 yards. Help! Run! The two pirate leaders covered their heads and ran. If they didn't run, they would lose their lives. Oomph! The wind lightning snake whip in Zhao Feng's hand disappeared as he ignored the two and flew in another direction. The two groups couldn't help but be surprised. After heavily injuring the two pirate leaders, Zhao Feng didn't continue to chase and didn't help either side. Instead, he turned around and left. Junior, stop right there. The pirate leader in blue finally couldn't take it anymore and roared. At this moment, he was in a dilemma. If he left the sovereign in multicolored clothes behind, the pirates without a sovereign would be slaughtered. Furthermore, if he chased after Zhao Feng, he might face a pincer attack from Zhao Feng and the sovereign in multicolored clothes. With Zhao Feng's battle power close to the sovereign realm, the situation wouldn't be optimistic if he teamed up with the sovereign in multicolored clothes. No one knew if Zhao Feng still had any hidden cards. After all, he had obtained the Wind Lightning Emperor's inheritance. However, if Zhao Feng left, the Wind Lightning Emperor's inheritance might be lost. Bro, these void pirates are our common enemy. Can we work together to repel them? I'll be grateful. The sovereign in multicolored clothes also yelled. Hearing this, the pirate leader's expression changed again. Once Zhao Feng joined the pirates, the situation would instantly change. What was unexpected was Zhao Feng didn't choose the pirates, nor did he care about the pirate leader. Logically speaking, if Zhao Feng was attacked by the pirates, he should have chosen to help the ship. That was the most logical and moral thing to do. If you can help, I'm willing to agree to any request, and the Lulon family will repay you tenfold. A light female voice came from the direction of the ship. The owner of the voice was Lulon Jishui. At this moment, Lulon Jishui's ordinary face was no longer there. Instead, it was replaced with a face as beautiful as jade. It was like a snow-white porcelain, flawless like jade. There was a faint blush on her cheeks, making her look extremely charming. Lady Lulon. Some males from both sides fell into a momentary daze. In this misty world, there was a peerlessly beautiful and pitiful beauty. She was like a sunset in the evening. The words, "I'm willing to agree to any request," made everyone's heart shake. Unfortunately, this sentence wasn't directed at anyone from either side. What was even more incredible was that the youth in front of them was like a wooden statue that turned around and flew away. Both sides were stunned, facing Lulon Jishui's promise and the Lulon family's gratitude. That brat had no reaction at all? Something's wrong. The pirates found that something was wrong. Zhao Feng didn't fly in the direction of the 8 desolate mountain, but in the opposite direction. Zhao Feng turned into a bolt of wind and lightning as he charged through the sea of mist toward the gray metallic ship. This was the Blue Lightning Pirate Group's ship, Ark. The pirates guarding the gray metal ship were only at the early stage or late stage True Lord ranks, and they were scared out of their wits. Bam! Zhao Feng landed on the gray metal ship. Master, this limitless ocean ship is made of void ocean silver crystal. Its defense is extremely strong, and it's suitable for flying across the limitless ocean. If I'm not wrong, this ship can even enter the ocean and disguise itself. The skeletal division leader within the 10,000 Ghost Pearl laughed. It was obvious that the skeletal division leader was very satisfied with this ship. Next, Zhao Feng easily defeated all the pirates on the gray metal ship. As long as one has enough primal crystal stones and some people, they can control the ship and travel across the limitless ocean. The people on the ship don't have to worry about the exhaustion of flying, and they can spend more time cultivating. The skeletal division leader explained. Because they needed people to maintain the ship, Zhao Feng left some alive. In reality, stealing the limitless ocean ship was also the skeletal division leader's idea. Hearing this, Zhao Feng was extremely tempted. After all, he didn't need to fly so bitterly, and he could spend more time cultivating. After all, Zhao Feng wanted to find the Sky Sacred Qin Palace, and he needed a ship if he wanted to cross the sea under the control of another spiritual sacred land. The journey would be long and arduous, and he would need a ship. Shameless bastard. The blue-clothed pirate leader, who was fighting in front of him, almost exploded with rage. His previous worries were completely unnecessary. Not only did Zhao Feng not retreat, he even took the chance to steal the ship. On the Blue Thunder Pirate Group side, everyone cursed in anger. As pirates, one day, they would be robbed by others while they were in trouble. Chapter 565. On the Limitless Ocean. The two sides seemed to come to a momentary pause as Zhao Feng took advantage of the situation from back. This shameless thief. Stop him. We can't let the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship fall into his hands. The pirates were dazed for a moment before they started to curse. On the ship, Lulon Jishui and company were dumbfounded as they watched Zhao Feng steal the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship. This young man is too daring. He even dares to rob the Blue Thunder Pirate Group's ship. The Blue Thunder Pirate Group was one of the top 10 pirate groups around the 8 desolate mountain. Many merchants and merchants nearby were terrified of the Blue Thunder Pirate Group. Even though the Blue Lightning Pirate Group wasn't one of the strongest pirate groups, but they were more agile and stealthy than most other pirate groups. Their greatest advantage was their excellent void ocean ships. The Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship had several hundred years of history, and it was one of the strongest ships around the 8 desolate mountain. Its speed, stealthiness, and defense were all top-notch. Preposterous. Even though the blue-robed scholar was calm and patient, he was enraged. The Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship was one of his biggest trump cards. If this ship was stolen, the Blue Lightning Pirates would be removed from the list of the top 10 pirate groups. Water lightning flipping hand. The blue-clothed scholar didn't care about the price. He activated the source energy in his body and sent out a giant hand of lightning that covered half a mile. An endless pressure like that of Mount Tai appeared. The light and darkness of the lightning twisted, sealing the entire area. Wah! The already injured venerable in flowery robes was sent flying a kilometer away by the heaven-flipping hand. Wah! The sovereign spat out a mouthful of blood and almost fell into the limitless ocean. Brat, how dare you steal my void ship? The scholar in blue was enraged, and a cruel expression appeared on his face. At this moment, he no longer cared about the injured and retreating venerable in flowery robes. Instead, he counterattacked. Retreat, kill that thief, and take back the ship. The blue-clothed scholar ordered coldly and led the pirates to retreat, attacking Zhao Feng, who was behind them. The Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship was the foundation of the pirate group, and it couldn't be lost. Furthermore, that kid might have gotten the inheritance of the Wind Lightning Emperor, so there was no time to lose. On the other side, the flowery-clothed venerable was slightly surprised. If the blue-clothed scholar had fought fiercely for a while longer, he would have had the chance to kill him, and then it would not have been too late to deal with Zhao Feng. The people on the ship wore terrified expressions, and at the same time, they were slightly startled. Seeing that the people on the ship were in a life-and-death situation, the Blue Lightning Bandit suddenly gave the order to retreat and charged at Zhao Feng. That kid left us in the lurch earlier. Now, it's his turn to suffer. Some people on the ship said gloatingly. Everyone nodded in agreement. Uncle Huang, that youth is extremely talented and possesses extraordinary strength. If we can save him and join forces against the pirates, we should have a 40 to 50% chance of success. Otherwise, the Blue Lightning Bandit would be able to quickly kill him and return to the Black Lightning sect. Lulan Jishui's eyebrows furrowed as she analyzed. Honestly speaking, she felt a certain amount of disgust toward Zhao Feng's actions of leaving her to die. But under the current situation, teaming up with Zhao Feng was the best way out. Jishu, the flowery-clothed sovereign, shook his head bitterly and said, "Even if we teamed up with that youth, we would still die. The only way to survive is to take you back to the 8 Desolate Mountain and abandon everyone on the ship." Hearing this, Lulan Jishui looked at the flowery-clothed sovereign in disbelief. Obviously, the flowery-clothed sovereign's injuries were several times more serious than she had imagined, and he must be suppressing his injuries. The Blue Lightning Bandit's attack before he left had deeply injured the Venerable One's foundation. Abandon everyone on the ship. Lulan Jishui looked like she could not bear it, and a trace of struggle appeared on her pretty face. But if she didn't do this, the flowery-clothed sovereign would most likely die if he continued to fight. At that time, no one would be able to escape. Jishui, quickly return to the 8 Desolate Mountain with me, while that brat is still busy. The flowery-clothed sovereign wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and landed in front of Lulan Jishui. Could it be there's no chance at all? Lulan Jishui couldn't bear the shame and looked at the youth in the fog. At this moment, the blue-clothed scholar led the pirates and charged at Zhao Feng on the gray metal ship. He was somewhat surprised. The young man slowly put away the gray metal ship and then looked at the blue-robed scholar and the others calmly. Surround him. The blue-clothed scholar suspected that there was a trap and didn't attack immediately. The sovereign elder in multicolored clothes couldn't help but be surprised by Zhao Feng's performance. Of course, the stronger Zhao Feng was, the more advantageous it was for their escape. Watch out. Kill that brat first. The blue-clothed pirate leader ordered as rings of water and lightning descended from the sky and pressed down on Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng immediately felt a profound power of water and lightning crashing over. The power of water and lightning was fierce and domineering, but also gentle. Rings of wind and lightning. Zhao Feng's figure leapt into the air as rings of azure and purple wind and lightning surrounded him. They charged in all directions, creating dozens of wind and lightning rings at every moment, attacking and defending in one. Boom! Crackle. The two powers of lightning clashed in the air for a breath or two. In terms of speed, Zhao Feng had the advantage. The aura of the purple destruction wind lightning and his speed must be the inheritance of the wind lightning emperor. Luckily, this brat only comprehended a little of the purple destruction wind lightning. The blue-clothed pirate leader wanted to capture Zhao Feng alive, so he only used 60 to 70% of his strength. Bam! Zhao Feng's rings of wind and lightning started to dim, and the majority of them were shattered. His figure quickly retreated. The power of water and lightning of the blue lightning pirate leader is extremely profound. Although Zhao Feng's inheritance was of a high rank, and he had the advantage in attack speed, he still couldn't fight against a pirate that had cultivated for several hundred years. The blue-clothed pirate leader's cultivation was similar to Elder Shui Yun's. They were both at the late stage, small origin core realm. With Zhao Feng's current strength, he couldn't easily use his eye bloodline, so he could only fight against early stage, small origin core realms and fight against middle stage, small origin core realms for a while. The blue-clothed pirate leader didn't use his full strength, but he was still able to suppress Zhao Feng. Ice Imperial Spear. After fighting for a while, Zhao Feng released a portion of the Ice Imperial Spear's aura, and an ancient coldness swept toward the blue-clothed pirate leader. This brat's incomplete Earth-grade weapon is probably not simple. The blue-clothed pirate leader was overjoyed. Even though they were both Earth-grade weapons, there were different grades. Some of the shards or fragments of Earth-ranked weapons were low-grade, some were mid-grade, and there were even high-grade, inheritance-type Earth-ranked weapons. Unfortunately, if that brat teamed up with me earlier, we might have been able to defeat the blue lightning pirate leader. The Sovereign Elder was shocked by Zhao Feng's strength and couldn't help but feel regretful. Zhao Feng's strength was comparable to normal early-stage, small origin core realms, but the blue lightning pirate leader's cultivation was too high. Just as he was about to fall into a disadvantage again, I should be able to suppress this person if I use the Ghost Corpse Curse Array. Or, Zhao Feng didn't panic. A thought flashed through his mind, and as he dodged, he suddenly waved his hand. Shua! In the dark gray fog, a ghastly and horrifying skeleton emerged. The skeleton was dark gold and silver, and there were two balls of dim flames dancing in its eye sockets. It was a ghastly sight. A thick aura of death energy filled the limitless sea. Countless sea creatures within a radius of several hundred miles felt their souls throbbing. Ghost Tao Bone Refining, sovereign of the origin core realm. The pirate leader's expression changed dramatically. The smile on his face froze as he suppressed Zhao Feng. From the aura alone, he could tell that this sovereign wasn't weak. The pirate leader even felt the faint aura of an Earth-grade weapon. Sovereign at the origin core realm, the flower-clothed venerable lord, who was about to retreat, could not help but cry out when he saw this scene. In the limitless ocean, most of the experts that appeared were peak existences and were at least at the True Lord rank or True Spirit realm. Therefore, the True Lord ranks in the limitless ocean were the most common. However, once one's cultivation reached the primal core realm, it would be different. They were rare, even in the Void Sea, and could be considered experts. And now, if Zhao Feng waved his hand and summoned an origin core realm expert, the situation would be completely different. It's been a long time since I've come out to exercise. The skeletal division leader's body glowed with a dark black light, and when it waved its fists, a soul-shaking purple-black light appeared. At this moment, the skeletal division leader's cultivation had recovered to its peak. Furthermore, with the support of the resources in the Purple Saint ruins, its strength was much stronger than before. That earth-ranked divine weapon, the 9 evil Bone Thorn, was extraordinary. After merging with his bones, it greatly strengthened the toughness of his bones, as well as his strength and defense. The moment it attacked, the skeletal division leader met the ripples of water and lightning head-on and charged toward the pirate leader. Every punch and palm contained the power of death, and with the addition of the 9 deadly bone, the Skeletal Division leader's battle power surpassed normal sovereigns. The flower-clothed, venerable lord, who was watching the battle from afar, could not help but be moved. At least, he knew that he wouldn't be the Skeletal Division leader's match if he wasn't injured. The Skeletal Division leader specialized in mental energy and the Ghost Dao bone refining. Its attacks could target both the physical and mental energy dimensions. Purple destruction, wind lightning, snake dance. Snakes of wind and lightning danced around Zhao Feng's body and attacked the blue lightning pirate lord in a tricky manner. Being sandwiched from both sides, the blue lightning bandit couldn't resist and started cursing. Although he had a support-type Earth-grade weapon, its power couldn't be compared to the Skeletal Division leader's 9 Deadly Yin Bone. 9 Deadly Yin Bone. The Skeletal Division leader took out its Earth-grade weapon, and a dark silver bone spike dozens of yards long shot into the air with a piercing screech. Arc. The shockwave slaughtered some peak True Lord ranks nearby. The blue lightning pirate leader was pushed back and cursed in anger. At the same time, he was being attacked by Zhao Feng's purple destruction, wind lightning snake whip. His blood churned, and he was already slightly injured. The Skeletal Division leader's battle power has increased quite a bit. Zhao Feng nodded his head. Under the situation where he couldn't use his eye bloodline, the Skeletal Division leader was the main force. Chapter 566. Even now, the Skeletal Division leader's strength had far surpassed when it was the Scarlet Moon Division leader. One reason was the large amount of resources in the Purple Saint Ruins. The other was the 9 Deadly Yin Bone. The Earth-grade weapon, the 9 Deadly Yin Bone, was extremely helpful in increasing its strength and comprehension. This was because every Earth-grade weapon had its own history and the intent of a Void God Realm King. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to create an Earth-grade weapon. Furthermore, the Skeletal Division leader's battle techniques had increased after fighting with the experts of the 3 sections. At this moment in time, above the limitless ocean, the Skeletal Division leader was the main force, and its battle power was on par with the Blue Lightning Pirate. On the side, Zhao Feng mainly supported him. He used secret techniques of wind lightning or the Ice Imperial Spear to suppress the blue-clothed pirate leader. The master and slave duo were able to suppress the blue lightning pirate leader and slowly increase their advantage. Wings of wind and lightning. A pair of wings of wind and lightning formed behind Zhao Feng's back. The purple destruction wind lightning was the skeleton and the azure wind lightning was the wings. As he continued to comprehend the wings of wind and lightning, not only did it increase his speed, it also increased Zhao Feng's ability to sense and control the power of wind and lightning. Whoosh! Whoosh! With the help of the wings of wind and lightning, Zhao Feng's speed increased dramatically. The pressure on the blue lightning pirate leader increased, and the nearby pirates were killed by Zhao Feng. Arg! Arg! The elder with the walking stick and the scaled mail were killed by Zhao Feng's wind lightning technique. In just a short while, the blue lightning pirate leader no longer had any pirates around him, and he was fighting by himself. Earth-grade weapon, Ice Imperial Spear. In the center of Zhao Feng's palm, the figure of the spear instantly turned into a dark blue crystal-like spear of an emperor. Shu, Wong, the Ice Imperial Spear trembled, and layers of ice lotuses that looked like blue crystals appeared. The taboo, ancient cold power quickly froze everything in the surrounding void sea. In an instant, an ancient ice emperor's cold might that could freeze all things in the world enveloped this part of the world, and it spread to a radius of 10 miles. Zhao Feng did his best to condense the Ice Imperial Spear's power to a radius of 1 to 2 kilometers. The void pirates nearby were all frozen in ice. This divine weapon, could it be an Earth-rank divine weapon inherited by the Ice Empress? Everyone on the ship felt the Ice Monarch's aura, and they felt as if their bodies and souls had fallen into an endless abyss of ice. It was also an Earth-rank divine weapon. Zhao Feng's Ice Imperial Spear was even more special. It contained the Tao of Inheritance and could unleash a profound intent that surpassed his own limits. Even someone as strong as the blue-clothed pirate leader was affected by the ancient cold energy. His blood and even his true yuan were frozen to a certain extent, and a layer of frost formed on the surface of his body. Void Sky, Dark Demon Stab. Using this chance, the skeletal division leader threw out its earth-grade weapon. A dark silver spike of light shot through the air and struck the blue lightning pirate king. Pong! The blue thunder bandit let out a muffled groan, and his face turned pale. The water lightning ripples around him dimmed and shattered, leaving a small bloody hole in his chest. Stay here. Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader unleashed another attack that sent the blue lightning pirate flying and coughing out blood. At the same time, the aura of a primal core cultivator came from behind, and the sound of air being torn could be heard. Blue Thunder Bandit, prepare to die. The sovereign expert led the people on the ship and chased after the blue lightning pirate. You win. The Blue Thunder Bandit's face was gloomy, and the blood at the corner of his mouth had yet to dry. His body turned into a dazzling ball of water lightning, and his aura nearly doubled. With a bang sound, he instantly broke through the encirclement of the three venerable experts and flew several miles away. Whoosh! A streak of water and lightning flashed across the limitless ocean. Under the blue lightning pirate's last attack, Zhao Feng's blood churned and he was slightly injured. However, with the help of his water bloodline, Zhao Feng's injuries were quickly healed. On the other hand, the flower-clothed venerable wanted to beat the dog while it was down, but before he could do anything, he was injured. Wah! The flower-robed venerable elder spat out a mouthful of blood and staggered. His face was pale and extremely depressed. Master, the blue lightning pirate is heavily injured. Should we chase after him? Kill him by the roots. The skeletal division leader became restless. It had been suppressed in the Purple Saint ruins, and now that it was stronger, it could finally have some fun. No need. Zhao Feng only wanted to steal this ship. As for the blue lightning pirate's revenge, he didn't care. After all, he was only passing by the 8 Desolate Mountain and wouldn't stay for long. Furthermore, it wasn't easy to kill the blue lightning pirate. 3 sovereigns working together had allowed him to escape. From this, one could see how strong he was. Next, Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader returned to the ship and started to reorganize. How unfortunate! Zhao Feng found that the sailors on the ship had all died in the clash with the Earth-grade weapon. The power of an Earth-grade weapon was forbidden to those below the Origin Core realm, and just a wisp of it could kill normal True Lord ranks. Furthermore, the cultivation of the sailors on the ship was only at the early stage True Lord rank or late stage. Little friend, this old man has a suggestion. The elder's eyes lit up as he cupped his hands and said politely. At this moment, the people on the ship, including Lulan Jishui, had arrived. Zhao Feng's eyes scanned over and instantly understood. So, under the attack of the pirates, just now, more than half of the ships on the ship's side had been destroyed. Their ship didn't have the quality or defense of the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship, which was able to withstand the shockwaves from sovereigns. Little friend, since you don't have a crew, it'll be hard for you to control the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship. Why don't we go together? We'll provide the crew. The flower-robed venerable smiled. Go together? We don't seem to be going in the same direction. Zhao Feng paused. He was heading in the direction of the 8 Desolate Mountain, while the ship was heading in the opposite direction. Little friend, if you can help us get to the Pure Moon spiritual sect, the Lulan family and I will be extremely grateful. Furthermore, this is also a great fortune for you. The flower-robed old man voiced out his proposal. What? Go to the Pure Moon spiritual sect? Zhao Feng almost rolled his eyes. He had offended all 3 2-star sects in the Tianlu Islands. The Pure Moon spiritual sect's enmity with Zhao Feng was even deeper. In the 2 trips to the Purple Saint ruins, Zhao Feng had killed countless experts from the Pure Moon spiritual sect, including sovereigns at the Origin Core realm. Luckily, Zhao Feng was currently at the edge of the Tianlu Islands, so he didn't need to worry too much. Little friend, you might not know, The Pure Moon Spiritual Sect is a 2.5-star superpower. With your talent, if you enter the Pure Moon Spiritual Sect with Lady Lulan, the elder tried his best to persuade. Stop. There's no room for discussion. Zhao Feng stopped him. Seeing Zhao Feng's decisiveness, the elder and Lulan Jishui felt helpless. If that's the case, then I won't force you. But we have to repay you for saving our lives. The elder and Lulan Jishui looked at each other. Immediately, the two sincerely asked Zhao Feng to go to the Lulan family in the 8 Desolate Mountain. The 8 Desolate Mountain happened to be where Zhao Feng was going. Because the ship was damaged, the elder and company could only go back the way they came. Doesn't Benefactor have no crew? Go to the 8 Desolate Mountain, and you can replenish everything you need. Jishui also sincerely invites Benefactor to be a guest at the Lulan family. Lulan Jishui's eyes rippled. The final stage. Zhao Feng stole the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship and defeated the leader of the pirates, winning everyone's respect. Even Lulan Jishui's impression of Zhao Feng changed, and she started to admire him. 8 Desolate Mountain? Zhao Feng fell into deep thought. According to Lulan Jishui, the 8 Desolate Mountain was the only resupply in the surrounding ocean. Once Zhao Feng left this place, it would be hard for him to find another place to resupply. Okay, Zhao Feng also wanted to take a look at the foreign scenery. After entering the outer world, all they saw was the limitless ocean. Not long after, the people that were originally on the ship met up on the gray metal ship. Zhao Feng didn't need to worry, as there were sailors among them who could control the ship. The Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship is one of the legendary ships in the 8 Desolate Mountain. Its defense and speed are top tier, and it's good at disguising itself. It can hide in the depths of the ocean. The quality of the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship made the crew extremely excited. Not long after, the gray metal ship flew through the mist. The Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship was 100 feet long and was split into 2 levels. There was also an observation deck at the top. The interior was split into dozens of rooms. At the center of the ship was a small hall, and below it was the control room. As long as we have enough primal crystal stones and other materials, we will be able to drive the Void Ocean ship for a long journey in the endless Void Ocean. Zhao Feng took up the responsibility and entered the captain's cabin. The captain's room was decorated with metal and could block spiritual sense from the outside world. It was suitable for resting and cultivating. After a while, Zhao Feng, the flower-robed sovereign, and Lulan Jishui sat in the center of the hall. From the two of them, Zhao Feng learned about the 8 Desolate Mountain, the 3 2-star sects, and even the entire Tianlu Island zone. Uncle Huang, Miss Lulan, why did the two of you return to the 8 Desolate Mountain? Zhao Feng asked. The flower-robed sovereign explained bitterly. The ship was damaged, the journey was long, and I'm heavily injured. That's one of the reasons. Furthermore, the Blue Lightning Pirate has a sworn brother who's the leader of the Pirate Alliance in the 8 Desolate Mountain. Zhao Feng instantly understood. The Pure Moon Spiritual Sect was very far away, and it would be very difficult to reach there without a ship. The Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship sped through the limitless ocean. At a certain moment, a clear fluctuation of yuan qi appeared in front of them. In their vision, the outline of a magnificent mountain range, surrounded by a layer of blue light, stood in the sea of nothingness. Primal qi of heaven and earth flowed here. From the limitless ocean, the 8 Desolate Mountain was like a large piece of jade. Brother Zhao, we're about to enter the zone, the flower-robed sovereign reminded. At this moment, the two of them were already familiar with Zhao Feng. Zone? Zhao Feng's god spiritual eyes slightly opened and saw an invisible force field that covered the entire 8 Desolate Mountain. Chapter 567. The gray metal ship slowly approached the 8 Desolate Mountain. It was about to enter the inner region. Zhao Feng focused because he hadn't experienced the journey from the inner region to the outer region. Soon, the gray metal ship entered the outer region of the 8 Desolate Mountain. The layer of blue aura was faint. On the surface of the metal ship, tiny colorful sparks appeared. Hmm, the resistance is getting stronger. My body is getting heavier. Zhao Feng's body felt slightly uncomfortable. As the ship flew, the resistance became stronger. The limitless ocean and the inner region were two different worlds. Without reaching a certain level of cultivation, it was hard to break through the limits of the inner region and enter the limitless ocean. Therefore, some of the natives at the bottom of the island zone didn't know the secrets of the outer region and thought that the land they were on was a continent. As they flew, gravity, air resistance, and even the heaven-earth yuan qi were changing. In essence, the 8 desolate mountain could be seen as a tiny island region. It had its own domain. Heaven, earth, yuan qi, and other factors are all extremely close to the azure flower continent. Zhao Feng sensed these changes were only secondary, and the greatest change was the difference in spatial levels. In his vision, the outline of the mountain range originally looked to be a few thousand miles wide. However, as he entered the inner region, he found that the mountain range in his vision kept on expanding. It kept on expanding. This feeling was like a speck of dust or a blade of grass carrying an unknown world. The actual size of the 8 desolate mountain is probably a few 100,000 miles, comparable to the cloud area. Zhao Feng's body slowly adapted to the environment. A while later, the blue lightning sea sky ship sank slightly and entered the domain, traveling through the space. This feeling was like entering the inner region from outer space. Blue sky, white clouds, sun. Zhao Feng inspected the inner region. It wasn't much different from the azure flower continent. However, if he didn't leave the outer region, he would never know that the 8 desolate mountain and the azure flower continent were just specks of dust in a vast world. Little friend, have you never gone from the inner region to the outer region? The flower-robed venerable smiled. Lulan Jishui explained with a smile, there's a difference in the spatial level between the realm and the void sea. Legend has it that all the realms of various sizes in the void sea are the various specks of dust that were scattered in the fan universe after the primordial wilderness shattered. Zhao Feng nodded. He had heard many myths and legends about this world. The world was collectively known as the fan universe. The fan universe was said to be a new world formed after the primeval wilderness shattered. After the primordial era, it experienced the primordial era, and a few other long eras before it gradually evolved into the boundless fan universe. There were only 2 types of spatial matter in the fan universe. One was the void sea, which was not suitable for ordinary life forms to live in. The other type was various domains of various sizes. These domains, on the other hand, were suitable for humans and many other creatures to inhabit. They gave rise to a splendid civilization. The 8 desolate mountain is located at the edge of the Tianlu Islands, and it's close to the enormous 1,000 flowing islands. It's one of the transfer points between the 2 clusters. The flower-robed venerable introduced. Hearing this, Zhao Feng's thoughts became clearer. Right now, he needed to leave the Tianlu Islands and enter another island zone. As expected, the next stop was the 1,000 flowing islands. Zhao Feng's birthplace, the Azure Flower Continent, was part of the Azure Islands, and it was next to the Tianlu Islands, where the 3 sects were located. However, the distance between the island zones was extremely far. Zhao Feng couldn't help but sigh. Unknowingly, he had become extremely far away from his hometown. The destination he was about to reach was many times further than this. After entering the island zone, the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship speed was still extremely fast, close to the speed of normal sovereigns. If it was in the limitless ocean, this speed would be 10 times or even dozens of times faster. Half a day later, at the peak of the mountain, there was a majestic city made of yellow crystal. The heaven-earth energy here was several times denser than in other areas. This is the sacred land of the 8 desolate mountain, 8 desolate sacred city. The flower-robed venerable had a complicated expression as he stood on the deck of the ship. The ship slowly approached 8 desolate sacred city. Everyone else went to the observation deck at the top of the void ship. 8 desolate sacred city is the center of the 8 desolate mountain and is the trading center of the limitless ocean. The three great families all have forces here. Lulan Jishui looked at the sacred city with a special feeling. The blue lightning sea sky ship's aura was powerful as it slowly approached 8 desolate sacred city. The 8 desolate sacred city gathered all the elites of the 8 desolate mountain zone, and its status was similar to the sacred alliance of the Azure Flower Continent. Apart from that, there were also some outside experts. Everyone here was at or above the true spirit realm. Limitless Ocean Ship. What a powerful aura. Oh my god, isn't that the Blue Lightning Pirates ship? How dare a pirate ship enter the 8 desolate sacred city? Someone come. Chaos broke out within 8 desolate sacred city. The Limitless Ocean ship was something that could travel through the limitless ocean, and it was a luxury for the experts here. Luckily, this was the sacred city, a trading center of the ocean. If it was a normal place, many experts wouldn't even have seen a limitless ocean ship before. Even more so, the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship was a legendary ship near the 8 desolate mountain. After a moment of chaos in 8 desolate sacred city, dozens of powerful auras soon flew out. The one leading them was an elder at the origin core realm. Enforcer Sovereign. Everyone's respectful gazes followed the elder. As the transit point of the sea, how could sacred city of 8 desolation not have supremacies overseeing it? Furthermore, there was definitely more than 1 or 2 sovereigns here. Old Lin, the sovereign in multicolored clothes, flew out and greeted the enforcer sovereigns. They were all sovereigns from the 8 desolate mountain zone, so they knew each other. Don't misunderstand. This pirate ship is our spoils of war. The sovereign in multicolored clothes explained. A while later, the experts above the sacred city did a simple inspection before letting them in. Old Huang, with your strength, you think you can seize this legendary void pirate ship? The enforcer sovereign's eyes were filled with doubt. The law enforcement venerable knew the origin of this pirate ship very well. The Blue Lightning Pirates, one of the top 10 pirate groups near the 8 desolate mountain. How could the strength of the Blue Lightning Pirate be compared to normal sovereigns? The sovereign in multicolored clothes smiled awkwardly. Actually, this ship is our spoils of war. That youth. The enforcement elder turned to Zhao Feng, his eyes bulging, the doubt on his face intensifying. Him? Are you kidding me? The law enforcement venerable was a little annoyed. He snorted coldly and turned to leave. Obviously, he thought that the sovereign in multicolored clothes was purposely mocking him. So, the ship entered the sacred city and headed toward the territory of the Lulan family. The law enforcer watched as the people on the void pirate ship left. Suddenly, his eyes narrowed as if he had thought of something. A painting soon appeared in the enforcer's hand. On the painting was a blue-haired youth. His left eye was blue and would occasionally turn azure. On the shoulder of the blue-haired youth was a silver-gray cat. Beside him, there was a skeleton floating in the air, filled with smoke. This youth seems to be the mysterious youth that the 3 sects have put a bounty on. The enforcer was surprised. Not long ago, the 8 desolate mountain received news from the Pure Moon spiritual sect, a person that was wanted by the 3 sects of the Tianlu Islands. This was something that only happened once in 1,000 years. Furthermore, the bounty this time was even more tempting. It was enough to make even sovereigns go crazy. Furthermore, the combined wealth of the 3 families in the 8 desolate mountain wasn't as tempting as the bounty. However, this youth's hair and eyes are normal. There's no cat or skeleton next to him. The enforcer's eyes twinkled with uncertainty. Although he wasn't sure, his hand holding the painting was already trembling. It had been a long time since Zhang Xian had become an exalted realm expert, and his heart was beating rapidly. 8 desolate sacred city in a hall of the Lulan family. Zhao Feng, Lulan Jishui, and the upper echelon of the Lulan family were all present. As for the sovereign in multicolored clothes, he was heavily injured and had gone into seclusion to recover. The head of the Lulan family was a kind, middle-aged man who had reached the half-step origin core realm. At the same time, He was Lulan Jishui's father. I'll have to trouble little friend Zhao this time. The head of the Lulan family expressed his gratitude several times. Although he was suspicious of Zhao Feng's strength and how he stole the limitless ocean ship, Zhao Feng was still the person who saved his daughter's life. But no matter what, the other party was the savior of his daughter, Lulan Jishui. He had to treat him as a distinguished guest and treat him well. Zhao Fan, you should stay a few more days in the 8 Desolate Mountain. In the tens of thousands of years of history, there are many legends here. It's not any weaker than some of the islands. Lulan Jishui smiled and was extremely friendly. Ever since she returned to the Lulan family, her eyes had been on this youth half the time. There was no other genius in the 8 Desolate Mountain that could be compared to him. This was because Lulan Jishui's early stage, true Lord rank cultivation was one of the top prodigies in the 8 Desolate Mountain, similar to Yu Tianhao's status in the Azure Flower Continent. I can't stay for long. I have to leave today. Zhao Feng shook his head and said, although he couldn't predict what the 3 sects would do, the earlier he left, the safer he would be. Zhao Feng knew this. Out of caution, he changed his name to Zhao Fan. Before he left, Zhao Feng needed to borrow the power of the Lulan family to get some good sailors to help control the limitless ocean ship. The Lulan family was one of the 3 big families in the 8 Desolate Mountain. Their status was similar to the 10 great clans of the Azure Flower Continent. In reality, the difference between the 3 big families and 1-star sects wasn't big. However, in recent years, the Lulan family had started to decline and was about to fall out of the 3 big families. Half of the Lulan family's hopes were placed on Lulan Jishui. If Lulan Jishui could join the Pure Moon spiritual sect and be put in an important position, the Lulan family status would rise. Chapter 568. A couple of hours later, within the Lulan family, dozens of people stood on a patch of grass. They were all dressed differently, and there were men, women, young, and old. Their cultivations were all at the true Lord rank. Some of them had burly figures and ferocious expressions. It was obvious that they were not easy to deal with. Little friend Zhao, according to your request, these people are all willing to be the crew of the ship. Their strength is at the peak of the 8 Desolate Mountain. The head of the Lulan family smiled and said. Zhao Feng faintly nodded his head. The Lulan family was indeed worthy of being one of the 3 big families of the 8 Desolate Mountain. They had found so many people who met the requirements so quickly. Zhao Feng's requirement for the crew was to be at least at the early stage true Lord rank. The age of the crew couldn't be too old. It was best if they weren't over 100 years old. Apart from that, there was another important factor. Zhao Feng wanted to confirm the personality of each crew member and make sure they followed him loyally. The simpler their background, the better. The time limit was 20 years. Of course, Zhao Feng's rewards were also extremely generous. The amount of primal crystal stones and other resources each year was several times or even 10 times that of normal crew members. Not only that, Zhao Feng also promised that as long as they passed the 1-year trial, each crew member would receive a piece of an Earth-grade weapon. Even the head of the Lulan family clucked his tongue at such a generous reward. A piece of Earth-grade weapon was extremely precious even for the Lulan family. On the other hand, once Zhao Feng's crew passed, they would receive a piece of Earth-grade weapon. This is only the initial reward. It doesn't include the later rewards. Zhao Feng smiled faintly and said, of course, there was no lack of people who doubted Xiao Chen's words. The reward is very tempting. Don't tell me they want us to become void pirates in disguise? Some people murmured, hee, with such a generous reward, even if we become pirates, it won't be a loss. Even more people were ready to make a move. I only need 8 crew members, all of whom are part of the logistics team. As for fighting members, you're still too far away. Zhao Feng said mercilessly. All he needed was a few people to help him control the ship for the long and arduous journey. Zhao Feng had no way of estimating how long this journey would take or how far it would take. But one thing was certain. During the long journey, Zhao Feng spent most of his time on the ship, comprehending and cultivating. Next, Zhao Feng began to strictly select the 8 crew members. The Lulan family head and Lulan Jishui watched with interest. Soon, Zhao Feng's 8 crew members were almost confirmed. The crew members who were chosen were ecstatic. Patriarch. In the distance, a figure in a hurry landed beside the Lulan Patriarch and half knelt on the ground. Ba Huang Holy City Alliance. The Lulan Patriarch received a special token and received some information. After reading the message, the head of the Lulan clan's expression suddenly changed. He subconsciously glanced at Zhao Feng's back. Jishui, the head of the Lulan clan, shot a glance at his daughter, and she hurriedly pulled her to a secluded corner. Zhao Feng, the target of the 3 supreme sex bounty. Lulan Jishui's face was filled with shock, and her long eyelashes trembled. There's no mistake. The head of the Lulan clan took a portrait from his subordinate. The blue-haired youth, the skeleton, and the thieving cat in the portrait were extremely clear. How is this possible? How could he be related to the 3 supreme sex? Lulan Jishui couldn't believe it. The blue-haired youth and the skeleton in the portrait were extremely similar to Zhao Feng, who had just arrived at the Lulan clan. The only difference was the youth in front of her had normal hair and eyes. Jishui, the 3 supreme sex bounty is extremely rare, and the rewards promised are enough to make the Lulan clan rise. The head of the Lulan clan's voice trembled with excitement. In the Tianlu Islands region, the 3 supreme sects were definitely enormous powers that could cover the heavens. Their influence covered dozens of island regions, many smaller regions, and even a vast void sea. As long as they could capture and kill Zhao Feng, it would be enough to change the fate of the Lulan clan. Jishui, I'll immediately notify the head of the family and old Huang. You need to think of a way to stall that brat. The head of the Lulan clan said solemnly. Before he left, he gave this heavy responsibility to his daughter and took a deep breath. The rise and fall of the Lulan clan may be in your hands, but Zhao Fan is our savior. Lulan Jishui said helplessly. She didn't have the heart to do this, and a struggle appeared on her face. On one side was the fate of the Lulan clan, and on the other was her savior. Lulan Jishui silently returned to Zhao Feng's side. Lady Lulan, I've already confirmed the 8 sailors. Find a vice captain and housekeeper. That'll be perfect. Zhao Feng seemed very satisfied. With 8 sailors, it would be enough to control the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship. There was no need for Zhao Feng to worry. As for adding a vice captain to manage the ship, that was what the Skeletal Division leader suggested. The Skeletal Division leader needed to refine ghost corpses, and it also needed to cultivate. It didn't want to be a housekeeper and take care of everything for Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng obviously agreed to this suggestion. Right now, the Skeletal Division leader was indeed one of his main forces. At this moment, the sailors entered the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship and successfully controlled it. Lulan Jishui, on the other hand, had a worried look. Lady Lulan, a steady and powerful hand patted her shoulder. Lulan Jishui's delicate body trembled. She looked at that pair of calm and clear eyes, which didn't have any impurities. It doesn't matter if you're Zhao Fan or Zhao Feng, you're both Jishui's savior. You should leave the 8 desolate mountain as soon as possible. Lulan Jishui gritted her teeth and smiled bitterly. Zhao Feng's expression changed dramatically. There was only one reason why Lulan Jishui could call him by his name. Looks like I've underestimated the 3 sections. Zhao Feng let a long sigh. He had been sent to the edge of the Tianlu Islands by the purple Saint Partial Spirit. He thought that as long as he didn't stay too long, no one would recognize him. However, it was obvious that the 3 sects had other methods to send news of Zhao Feng to the 8 desolate mountain. If you don't leave now, it'll be too late. Lulan Jishui's voice was filled with panic as she pushed Zhao Feng's arm. Okay. Zhao Feng looked at Lulan Jishui and had a good impression of her. Get ready to leave. Zhao Feng immediately ordered the 8 sailors to control the ship. A layer of grayish-blue wind appeared on the gray metal ship as it rose into the air. However, right at this moment, the sound of flying came from afar. Brat! Where do you think you're going? An old voice came from afar, and the heaven-earth Yuan Shi howled as the aura of an origin core realm came from the clouds. Not good. The patriarch is here. Lulan Jishui's expression changed dramatically. At the same time, a familiar aura of an origin core realm came from the Lulan family. Zhao Feng could tell that this aura belonged to the injured sovereign, Old Man Huang. Shua. Lulan Jishui's figure flashed as she landed on the deck of the ship and grabbed Zhao Feng's arm. Lady Lulan, what are you doing? The fragrance of a young girl flashed across his nose. Zhao Feng was dumbfounded. One of his arms was already hugging Lulan Jishui's swan-like neck, and a warm and fragrant jade filled his arms. And all of this, Zhao Feng was in a passive state. Hurry up and use me to escape from the Lulan family. Lulan Jishui said angrily. Zhao Feng finally understood, and his face was filled with shock. He couldn't believe Lulan Jishui's courage and decision. Actually, you don't need it at all. Zhao Feng shook his head, but seeing Lulan Jishui's good intentions, Zhao Feng couldn't reject her. If he could use Lulan Jishui to make the two sovereign lords of the Lulan family hesitate, it would be much easier for Zhao Feng to escape. After all, fighting two sovereigns wasn't easy. So, at this moment, the Lulan Patriarch and the Venerable One arrived at the scene of the incident. Put Jishui down. The Sovereign Huang's expression changed as he roared. Oomph! I'll kill anyone who dares to come near. Zhao Feng grabbed Lulan Jishui's neck. The latter's face was bright red, but no one knew if it was because she couldn't breathe properly or because of her body's instincts. Stop! The patriarch of the Lulan tribe and the others shouted. Zhao Feng laughed as he held the prodigy of the Lulan family hostage and stood on the limitless ocean ship that flew into the sky. However, just as Zhao Feng flew into the sky and hadn't left 8 desolate sacred city, he felt the auras of 2 sovereigns approaching. Patriarch, even if we don't do anything, the other forces in 8 desolate sacred city won't show mercy. The patriarch of the Lulan family had a dark expression. You mean, the eyes of the patriarch of the Lulan family flashed. Rather than letting others take advantage of us, we might as well do it ourselves. It's worth it to sacrifice my daughter for the fate of the entire Lulan family. The patriarch of the Lulan family's face twisted, and his eyes were filled with madness. Thinking of the reward offered by the 3 supreme sects, the patriarch of the Lulan family's eyes burned with passion. Okay. The patriarch of the Lulan family looked deeply at the patriarch of the Lulan family and suddenly waved his hand. Since the patriarch of the Lulan family was willing to sacrifice his daughter, what else could he say? Everyone, hear my order. Kill Zhao Feng. The patriarch of the Lulan family and the patriarch of the Lulan family gave the order at the same time and chased after Zhao Feng. So, at this moment, the blue lightning sea sky ship flew higher and closer to the limitless ocean. Lady Lulan, your family doesn't seem to care about your life. Zhao Feng was slightly surprised and let go of Lulan Jishui. Since the Lulan family didn't care about Lulan Jishui's life, Zhao Feng decided to let her go. Father! Lulan Jishui's face was pale. She was deeply disappointed and helpless. Standing on the deck of the ship, her body swayed. At this moment, her biological father and the rest of her family members had disregarded her life and death as they chased after her menacingly. You're still not leaving? Zhao Feng was slightly surprised and gently pushed Lulan Jishui. I'm not going back. Lulan Jishui bit her lips, causing a few traces of blood to ooze out. Her face was resolute. Don't you need a vice captain on your ship? Jishui can try. Even if I'm your servant, I don't need any compensation. As long as you take me away. Chapter 569. Sure, I'll accept you as the vice captain for now. Zhao Feng agreed. He sympathized with Lulan Jishui. If it wasn't for the fact that she helped Zhao Feng escape the 8 desolate mountain, Lulan Jishui wouldn't be in such a situation. Zhao Feng had a good impression of her and trusted her personality. Zhao Feng didn't need to worry about Lulan Jishui being the vice captain. From then on, 8 sailors, a vice captain, and the crew of the Void Ocean ship were all in place. Right at this moment. So, the auras of 2 or 3 Origin Core realm sovereigns from 8 desolate sacred city charged over from different directions. Not only were there Origin Core realms, there were also peak True Lord ranks and half-step Origin Core realms from the 8 desolate mountain. Quick, we can't let the other 2 families succeed. The head of the family and the head of the Lulan family leapt toward the pirate ship with worry in their eyes. Facing the auras of several sovereigns approaching, Zhao Feng didn't panic and took out a black flag. You go in first and control the ship toward the 1,000 flowing islands. Zhao Feng told Lulan Jishui to go inside the ship. Shua. He waved the black flag in his hand, and thick gray smoke condensed into a great ghost corpse cursed formation filled with death, energy, and resentment. Looking from afar, a huge, thick gray cloud of smoke engulfed the ship, covering the sky and making it almost impossible to see what was going on inside. Bam! Bam! The power of the attacks from the Lulan family was greatly reduced when they entered the ghost corpse cursed array. Zhao Feng stood in the center of the array, unharmed. Even someone as strong as the Lulan Patriarch, who was at the Origin Core realm, could only affect Zhao Feng and the limitless ocean ship. Zhe. This Ghost Corpse cursed array now has 60 peak True Lord ranks. This array has absorbed the blood, essence, and souls of countless beasts in the Purple Saint ruins. The power of the curse has exceeded the original Ghost Corpse cursed array. The Skeletal Division leader's figure also appeared on the deck. Right now, the might of the Ghost Corpse curse formation had already reached a certain scale, surpassing his initial expectations. This was mainly due to 2 points. Firstly, the strength of the cursed ghost corpses had increased. Each of them had the strength of a peak True Lord rank. Under the mysterious formation, the Een Ghost Corpse Chi and the power of the curse complemented each other, forming a whole. It wasn't as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. Secondly, the tempering in the Purple Saint ruins had absorbed a large amount of beast essence, blood, and souls. His curse power had surpassed that of the 100 Graves Forbidden Grounds. In the past, countless beasts at the True Spirit realm had died to the Ghost Corpse cursed array. What a sinister Ghost Corpse formation. The Lulan Patriarch, the Sovereign Cultivator, and the others exclaimed. The Lulan clan had an old clan head at his peak and an injured venerable in flowery robes. Even when the 2 venerables worked together, they could not break the Ghost Corpse cursed formation. Swoosh! Zhao Feng waved the Ghost Corpse cursed formation, summoning a vast amount of Ghost Corpse resentment energy in the form of a ferocious black flood dragon, wreaking havoc within a radius of 1 to 2 miles. Arg! The nearby True Lord ranks and half-step Origin Core realms of the Lulan clan were touched by the Ghost Corpse resentment energy, and their bodies started to rot and turn into a puddle of blood. Blood-curdling screams were incessant. Those below the Origin Core realm would die, for sure. After the Ghost Corpse cursed array killed some experts, their remaining resentment energy was absorbed by the Ghost Corpse cursed array and strengthened the power of the curse. Don't blame me for starting a massacre. Zhao Feng snickered coldly as he waved the black flag and controlled the Ghost Corpse cursed array to attack and defend. Damn it! The injured sovereign in flowery robes was eroded by the Ghost Corpse resentment energy, and his face went pale white. Now, the power of the curse contained within the Ghost Corpse cursed array had exceeded the 100 Graves Forbidden Grounds and would affect even those at the Origin Core realm, let alone those who were heavily injured. Plop! The sovereign in flowery robes fell from the air with a pale white face. Old Huang, the head of the Lulan clan, used the earth-grade weapon to barely keep his life and caught the sovereign in flowery robes. Oh heavens! He raised his head and couldn't help but feel regret. At this moment in time, only the head of the Lulan clan was left fighting against the Ghost Corpse cursed array. Everyone else was dead. The expression of the head of the Lulan clan was extremely ugly. Who, The black flood dragon's smoke-like resentment power howled through the air, forcing the old patriarch to retreat. 9 deadly Eanbone. Suddenly, a huge, dark silver bone spike that was dozens of meters long shot out from the Ghost Corpse Curse formation, dragging layers of Ean death spikes behind it. Fiendish light burned and spread to half of the sky. The power of the 9 deadly Eanbone thorn and the Ghost Corpse formation overlapped and complemented each other. It was like a bone dragon of death, its power rising to a whole new level. Wah! The head of the Lulon clan was sent flying and spat out a mouthful of blood. There was a small, blood-black hole in his chest. His face was purplish-black, and he couldn't stand steadily. Even without the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array, the Skeletal Division leader's 9 deadly Eanbone wasn't something he could block. The 3 families of the 8 Desolate Mountain are only SOS-so. Zhao Feng faintly laughed. If it weren't for the fact that Lulon Jishui was begging for mercy, he could have taken the lives of the 2 sovereigns. Whoosh! At this moment, the blue lightning sea-sky ship broke through the barrier of the 8 Desolate Mountain and created a splash of sparks. They were about to enter the outside world. The 8 Desolate Mountain became smaller and smaller, and it turned from an endless world into a mountain range that was several thousand miles wide. The instant the blue lightning sea-sky ship entered the limitless ocean, its speed increased by more than 10 times. The air resistance was extremely weak in the limitless ocean, and matter was like a feather. Brat, don't even think about running. Within the 8 Desolate Mountain, another 3 sovereigns appeared. They were from other families and forces. These 3 sovereigns were at the early stage, middle stage, and late stage small origin core realms. The strongest late stage small origin core realm was at least on the same level as the blue lightning pirate. Faster, Zhao Feng wasn't afraid of fighting, but his goal was to escape. Within the blue lightning sea-sky ship, Lulon Jishui and company were trying their best to control the ship and increase its speed to the maximum. The blue lightning sea-sky ship's speed was the fastest, and it could be raised to the level of a normal sovereign. However, it expended a lot of primal crystal stones. Whoosh! Whoosh! The 3 sovereigns chased after the blue lightning sea-sky ship and unleashed wave after wave of attacks. Master, aren't we going to finish off these 3 flies first? The Skeletal Division leader was slightly impatient. We shouldn't fight them. Let's get away first. Zhao Feng's expression was calm. The 8 Desolate Mountain wasn't small, and they had only disturbed the experts of the 8 Desolate Sacred City. If they fought too long near the 8 Desolate Mountain, they would attract even more enemies. Zhao Feng and the Skeletal Division leader could deal with 2 or 3 small Origin Core realms, but it would be troublesome if there were more. Furthermore, the Origin Core realm was split into the Small Origin Core realm and the Great Origin Core realm. If a Great Origin Core realm came, they would be in danger. According to what Zhao Feng knew, the battle power of a Great Origin Core realm was several times stronger than a Small Origin Core realm. The difference between the 2 was like the difference between a True Lord rank and a Sovereign. Whoosh! The blue lightning sea-sky ship flew faster and faster. In less than an hour, the ship had traveled several dozen thousand miles. Where do you think you're going? The 3 Venerable Ones suddenly joined forces, and a golden chain tore through the sky like a golden chain dragon as it coiled around the blue lightning sea-sky ship. This golden chain was a pseudo-Earth-grade weapon, and it was extremely tough. The 3 sovereigns teamed up and used this pseudo-Earth-grade weapon to tie down the ship and the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array. Looking over, in the sea of fog, there was a big ball of gray smoke, entangled by a golden chain. Not good. The sailors of the blue lightning sea-sky ship started to panic. Even if they tried to fly, they would drag down the 3 sovereigns. Attack! Zhao Feng and the Skeletal Division leader didn't hesitate at all and attacked. Wu, a surge of Ghost Corpse resentment appeared from the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array and turned into a black serpent that leapt toward the 3 sovereigns. 9 deadly Eanbone. A gigantic dark silver bone spike that was dozens of feet long dragged layers of deathly shadows behind it, its fiendish light burning as it spread across half the sky. The skeletal division leader's Earth-grade weapon attacked at almost the same time. The two attacks stacked on top of each other and were unleashed at the same time. Boom! The three sovereigns were caught off guard. They had just teamed up to stall the limitless ocean ship, and they didn't even have time to celebrate. They didn't expect Zhao Feng and Zhao Feng to react so quickly. Instantly, the three sovereigns at the Origin Core realm were surrounded by the power of the ghost corpses, and a 9-kill bone spear clashed with them head-on. Wah! The early stage, small Origin Core realm sovereign spat out a mouthful of blood as the ghost corpse resentment seeped into his body. Part of his flesh was already rotting, and his essence was being eroded. Before the three sovereigns could counterattack, another change occurred. Earth-grade weapon, Ice Imperial Spear. In the center of Zhao Feng's palm, the figure of the spear quickly turned into a crystal-clear dark blue Emperor Spear. Whoosh! The Ice Imperial Spear tore through the air for the first time, unleashing a blue crystalline ice lotus spear projection that froze everything in its path. See? The bodies of the three sovereigns froze as a layer of frost appeared on them. Whoosh! The Ice Imperial Spear radiated an ancient coldness as it pierced through the injured early-stage, small Origin Core realm sovereign. Woo! The small Origin Core realm sovereign's body froze before shattering with a crack. He was the first to be pierced through by the Ice Imperial Spear. I would not die. The expressions of the other two sovereigns changed dramatically. In just the blink of an eye, 2 waves of attacks had taken the life of a sovereign. On top of that, the other 2 sovereigns were still affected by the Ghost Corpse resentment. Void Sky and Demonic Stab. The second Earth-grade weapon appeared almost at the same time as the Ice Imperial Spear pierced through the sovereign. At this moment, the frost on the other 2 sovereigns hadn't melted yet. Pung! Borrowing the power of the Ghost Corpse Curse Array, the 9 evil bone thorn pierced through the air and pierced through another Primal Core realm sovereign, as if it had broken through space. Arc! The middle stage, small Origin Core realm sovereign died, and his body rotted and turned into a puddle of blood. The second sovereign had fallen. Go! Zhao Feng waved the black flag and used the power of the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array to devour the essence of the 2 sovereigns and strengthen the power of the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array. Chapter 570. After devouring the essence, chi, and soul fragments of the 2 sovereigns, the many cursed ghost corpses in the Ghost Corpse Curse formation were nourished in some way, and the curse power of the formation rose to another level. Not good. The only remaining sovereign was a golden-armored middle-aged man who had shock written all over his face. Of the 3 sovereigns, this golden-armored middle-aged man had the highest cultivation at the late-stage, small Origin Core realm. He was on par with the Blue Lightning Pirate and the Skeletal Division leader. However, at this point in time, he was being eroded by the power of the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array and was being attacked by 2 Earth-grade weapons. Even though it wasn't a head-on collision, he was still slightly injured. Go! Zhao Feng waved the black flag, and a surge of ghost corpses turned into a black serpent that charged toward the golden-armored middle-aged man. 9 deadly bone spike. The Skeletal Division leader pushed out with one hand, and layers of deathly spikes formed a dark silver spike dozens of yards long that complemented the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array. The Ghost Corpse Cursed Array had devoured the essence left behind by the 2 sovereigns, and their combined power was even stronger than before. Golden Hell, Locking Dragon. The golden-armored middle-aged man's expression was solemn as he released all the true yuan in his body. The glittering golden chains gave off layers of golden light, forming a huge golden prison space that devoured the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array and the ship in front of him. In a short instant, the area where Zhao Feng and the Skeletal Division leader were located was sealed by the Golden Hell Locking Dragon. Crack! In the next instant, the two's attacks broke through the surrounding golden light with an overwhelming advantage. Bam! The golden-armored middle-aged man retreated as blood leaked from his mouth, and he used this chance to retreat several miles away. Golden Prison Locking Dragon. What a brilliant secret skill. Zhao Feng's expression changed. The golden-armored middle-aged man's cultivation had reached the late-stage, small origin core realm, and his secret technique was extremely powerful. Run! The golden-armored middle-aged man didn't have any intent to fight as he ran toward the 8 Desolate Mountain. Zhao Feng, every time you kill a martial highness, the ghost corpse's formation will improve significantly. If this ghost corpse cursed formation can devour 100 venerables, it might bring about a revolutionary change. The skeletal division leader had an expectant expression. He wasn't willing to let the golden-armored middle-aged man escape. The most important thing right now is to leave the Tianlu archipelago. Zhao Feng's expression was calm and unwavering. Although the skeletal division leader's suggestion was extremely tempting, Zhao Feng's identity had already been exposed. The longer they waited, the more dangerous it would be. Even if the two of them were to increase their strength by several times, they would still appear insignificant in front of the 3 great 2-star sections. Killing a late-stage, small origin core realm would take a lot of effort, even if the two of them teamed up. Whoosh! The golden-armored middle-aged man tore through the air, his face filled with fear. If it wasn't for his quick reaction, he might have ended up like the other 2 martial highnesses. Both of them have Earth-Grey divine weapons, and they're extraordinary. As for the Great Ghost Corpse formation, it's so terrifying that even supremacies can't escape from it. The golden-armored middle-aged man analyzed and found that his loss wasn't unjust. Earth-grade weapons were extremely rare, and only a small portion of sovereigns had complete Earth-grade weapons. Furthermore, the Earth-grade weapons of Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader weren't normal. Right at this moment, an indescribable aura appeared in the limitless ocean, and all the Yuan Qi within 1,000 miles started to gather. This aura seemed to come from the universe, and it looked down on the world. Crack! Under the pressure of this aura, the limitless ocean was unable to withstand the pressure and started to shatter. Shua! The hazy void mist sea suddenly became bright and clear. Everything within a radius of 1 to 200 li became as bright as day in the land. Visibility became even further. This power, the golden-armored middle-aged man's body shook. In the next instant, the momentum of the world, along with the vast power of the essence Qi tide, surged over in an overwhelming manner. Patriarch Jean, high up in the sky, a black-hatted old man with a face full of vicissitude spoke. His voice seemed to come from a distant abyss. 8 Desolate, Sovereign Lord. The golden-armored middle-aged man's breathing stopped as he bowed respectfully. The 8 Desolate Sovereign Lord was one of the strongest experts in the 8 Desolate Mountain Zone, and his cultivation had reached the Great Origin Core Realm. In the area around the Ba Huang Mountain, only the leaders of the top 10 pirate alliances could compete with him. At this moment, seeing the 8 Desolate Sovereign Lord, the golden-armored middle-aged man revealed an overjoyed expression and immediately pointed in the direction. I'll capture that brat immediately. The black-hatted old man, the Octoterra Venerable, smiled faintly and disappeared in a flash. Shua! A black figure pierced through the limitless ocean and charged into the clouds. Its speed was more than twice as fast as the blue lightning sea sky ship. With the 8 Desolate Sovereign Lord taking action, those two won't be able to escape. The golden-armored middle-aged man murmured confidently. At the same time, the blue lightning sea sky ship flew 1,000 miles. The skeletal division leader's sharp mental energy senses sensed something. The heaven-earth Yuan Qi was giving off an unusual disturbance, especially the faint aura of heaven and earth. What's going on? Zhao Feng looked behind him. The skeletal division leader specialized in mental energy and ghosts, so its senses surpassed normal sovereigns. Meow meow. At this moment, The little thieving cat jumped onto Zhao Feng's shoulder and threw out 2 bronze coins. A bad omen? According to the little thieving cat's divination, something unfavorable was approaching Zhao Feng. Seeing this, Zhao Feng retracted part of his bloodline power. The god's spiritual eye's left eye glowed blue as it looked behind. Just using the god's spiritual eye didn't take much effort. In just an instant, Zhao Feng blocked his left eye. Who is this person? Zhao Feng's voice sounded in Lulan Jishue's mind. Shua. The image of an old grass-hatted elder appeared in Lulan Jishue's mind. Now, with Zhao Feng's understanding of mental energy, he could easily copy the scene of an area and make it appear as an illusion. 8 desolate sovereign lord, Lulan Jishue exclaimed, her voice trembling with fear. That's the strongest expert in the 8 desolate mountain zone. His cultivation has reached the Great Origin Core Realm. Lulan Jishue panicked and explained. Great Origin Core Realm. The expressions of Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader changed dramatically. Dive! Zhao Feng's expression went cold as he gave the order. So, the gray metal ship quickly dived into the void ocean below. Goo! After a few bubbles, the gray ship dived into the ocean. Apart from speed and defense, the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship's strongest point was its concealment ability. Let's continue. Zhao Feng's eyes were sharp. He first put the skeletal division leader into the 10,000 ghost pearl before entering the ship himself. Soon, the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship dove into the depths of the ocean and concealed its aura to the extreme, becoming one with its surroundings. In the ocean, the gray ship slowed down and continued forward. A while later, whoosh, a roar sounded from the limitless ocean, and the nearby limitless ocean seemed to shatter. Everything became clear. Immediately after, an earth-shattering aura descended from the sky, originating from this part of the universe. Within a radius of 200 miles, many sea creatures trembled in fear. It's indeed a great origin core realm. In the depths of the limitless ocean, Zhao Feng and company all felt a surge of power that surpassed the small origin core realm. Shua, an ancient and indifferent old man wearing a black hat appeared in the mist sea region like a paragon. He paused for a moment, and then his powerful spiritual sense swept out for hundreds of kilometers. At this moment in time, the gray metal ship in the depths of the void ocean was completely still, not daring to move at all. 1 breath, 2 breaths, 3 breaths. Time seemed to slow down at this moment. At a certain moment in time, Zhao Feng's god spiritual eye felt a faint mental energy that was almost extinguished sweep across the area. Luckily, the void ocean was a special existence. It had a strong resistance and weakening effect on things like mind power and spiritual consciousness. The Octaterra High Lord's spiritual sense covered a large area. When it reached the depths of the void ocean, it was weakened to the limit and was on the verge of destruction. Furthermore, the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship blocked off spiritual sense and had a strong disguising ability. It could merge with the surrounding aura. 3 breaths later, the powerful aura of a great origin core realm started to fade away. Everyone within the ship let out a long breath. Beads of sweat appeared on Zhao Feng's forehead. The pressure from the 8 desolate sovereign lord was stronger than any sovereign he had ever seen. He had only seen 3 types of sovereigns before. The first was Patriarch Hong, the Mystic Ice Queen, and company, who were normal sovereigns. The second was Elder Shui Yun, the Blue Lightning Pirate, and Sovereign Yu Xingchen. The second was sovereigns at the Origin Core Realm, whose strength surpassed normal sovereigns. The third was sovereigns at the Great Origin Core Realm. Their strength surpassed the first 2 by an entire level, and their aura seemed to be one with the universe. Those that are called Sovereign Lords are usually at the Great Origin Core Realm. Zhao Feng carefully released a small portion of his bloodline power and used his god's spiritual eye to scan the outside world. At least for now, Zhao Feng didn't dare to fully use his god's spiritual eye. At most, he would release the sealed bloodline power and use it for a short while. Let's go. After a short while, Zhao Feng confirmed that the 8 desolate sovereign lord had already left this area. Let's go. Zhao Feng slightly changed the direction and told Lulan Jishui and company to control the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship. At the start, the speed of the ship was controlled to be low. For hours later, nothing out of the ordinary appeared, so Zhao Feng ordered them to speed up. Half a day later, the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship traveled hundreds of thousands of miles. At this moment, Zhao Feng ordered the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship to move at full speed. The materials used to create the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship were suitable for the limitless ocean. Even in the ocean, its speed surpassed a half-step origin core realm. 3 days later, the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship had reached the edge of the limitless ocean near the 8 desolate mountain. If he continued forward, he would be close to the territory of another nearby island region, the 1,000 Flowing Islands. The 8 desolate sovereign lord won't be able to catch up. Everyone on the ship calmed down. The difference of a millimeter was 1,000 miles. The limitless ocean was just too big, and as time passed, the difference would grow. However, on the morning of the 3rd day, a great origin core realm aura suddenly appeared behind them and headed toward the limitless ocean ship. Chapter 571. Another powerful force came from the void ocean. The world's origin energy roared like a tide, and the murderous aura covered the sky and earth, causing many living beings within a few thousand miles to tremble. This aura seemed to merge with the universe itself, and it wasn't something that humans could resist. How did it catch up again? The sailors within the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship could clearly feel the aura of a great origin core realm. This time, the aura of a great origin core realm charged toward its target without any hesitation, and it was several times stronger than before. Woo! The limitless ocean nearby started to shatter and become dyed in an azure and blood-colored light. Everything within a dozen miles was filled with a dominating azure and blood-colored light. It was as if they had entered another world in the blink of an eye. In the depths of the limitless ocean, the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship became silent once more, and it concealed its aura and merged with its surroundings. Pung, pung, pung. The sailors, Lulan Jishui, and company all held their breaths as their hearts sped up. Within the captain's room, "We've been targeted." Zhao Feng sat down and sighed bitterly as he slowly stood up. Hearing that, the hearts of everyone shook. "Zhao Feng, I know you're down there. I know you're down there. Why don't you come out and surrender?" A cold and hateful male voice sounded from above the limitless ocean. Both Zhao Feng and Lulan Jishui felt that this voice was familiar. Shua. So, 3 auras of the origin core realm landed in the limitless ocean above the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship. The one speaking was a scholar in blue, the Blue Lightning Pirate. Of the 3, the Blue Lightning Pirate stood on the left. On the right was a large man with a black face and black armor. His aura had reached the late-stage small origin core realm, and he was even close to the peak stage. The one in the middle, an indifferent and taciturn one-armed baldy, had chilling green stripes all over his body. The bloody green light that filled the surrounding dozens of miles came from his body. He was the great origin core realm sovereign lord. Using his own power to change the environment, this is the great origin core realm. At this point in time, Zhao Feng released part of the bloodline power that blocked off his left eye, and through the god's spiritual eye, the scene above the limitless ocean appeared in his vision. Furthermore, the image of the bald man with the severed arm appeared in the minds of Lulan Jishui and the others. It's him. He's the leader of the top 10 pirate crews around 8 desolate mountain, the publicly acknowledged pirate king of the nearby void sea. Lord Husua? Lulan Jishui cried out. Lord Husua, the leader of the 8 desolate mountain pirate alliance. The crew members of the ship trembled. It was as if they had one foot on the edge of a cliff. All of them were a loss. Thump. 1 or 2 of the crew members even fell to the ground. Zhao Feng furrowed his brows. The crew members he had chosen were all extraordinary in terms of temperament. Just what kind of reputation did this Lord Husua have? He was able to make everyone on the ship lose their will to fight and hope. The limitless ocean nearby can be said to be Lord Husua's territory. He's the leader of the Pirate Alliance and has been unrivaled for several hundred years. Apart from the three sects and other forces, there's no merchant group that he doesn't dare to touch. Lulan Jishue's voice trembled as she spoke. At this moment in time, the pressure from the great origin core realm above the ocean became stronger and stronger. Prepare to fight. Zhao Feng leaped onto the observation deck, a black flag appearing in his hand. A great origin core realm expert. Even the Scarlet Moon Patriarch wasn't able to completely surpass the great origin core realm. The skeletal division leader said bitterly. It had personally witnessed the strength of the Scarlet Moon Patriarch. The pressure this Lord Husua gave it was only second to the Scarlet Moon Patriarch. Above the limitless ocean, Alliance leader who, let me go down and finish off those people. The black-faced, black-armored giant held a black iron axe in his hand and revealed a cruel expression. In terms of battle power, this black-armored giant was even stronger than the blue lightning pirate. No, Lord Husua said emotionlessly, we can kill everyone else, but this Zhao Feng has to be captured alive. At the thought of the huge reward offered by the three supreme sects, the cold and taciturn King Husua had a hint of irrepressible excitement in his eyes. Bam! Bam! Right at this moment, two figures broke through the water and arrived above the limitless ocean. Zhao Feng, you're very courageous to come out and fight. Lord Husua was slightly surprised. They all thought that Zhao Feng would hide in the ocean and not fight head-on. He's indeed worthy of being the leader of the 10 great pirate alliances. We ran so far away, but he still caught up. Zhao Feng held the black flag and pretended to be impressed. In the truth, Zhao Feng didn't know how Lord Husua and company caught up to the limitless ocean ship. However, one thing was certain. Once a great origin core realm caught up, Zhao Feng wouldn't be able to escape. Ha, Junior. As the captain of the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship, I've been with it for more than 200 years. I've personally refined it countless times, so there's a faint connection between us. The Blue Lightning pirate started to laugh smugly. Lord Husua nodded in approval. When a void ship reaches a certain level, it will nurture a weak, embryonic intelligence. Captains who have been with it for a long time will have a mysterious connection with each other as long as they are not too far apart. So that's how it is. Zhao Feng finally understood the true reason. This isn't a secret to the captains. It's common knowledge. The black-armored giant said in disdain. Common knowledge? Zhao Feng and the skeletal division leader looked at each other with ugly expressions. They didn't have much experience in the limitless ocean. This was especially true for Zhao Feng. This was his first time entering the outside world. It seemed like their loss was due to their lack of common knowledge. I must kill this blue thunder bandit. Zhao Feng's killing intent rose. Since the reason was clear, Zhao Feng didn't hold back and waved the black flag in his hand. Shua! Immediately, the 60 cursed ghost corpses formed a huge, thick, gray cloud of smoke around them. Who? Zhao Feng waved the black flag, and surges of ghost corpses and hatred surged toward the 3 origin core realm pirate leaders like a dark river. In an instant, everything within several miles was engulfed by the power of the ghost corpse cursed array. 9 deadly bone. The skeletal division leader gritted its teeth and circulated its earth-grade weapon with all its might. A giant dark silver bone shot toward the 3 origin core realms along with Zhao Feng's ghost corpse cursed array. Lord Husua revealed a surprised expression. Bam! The blue lightning bandit and the black armor giant beside him were almost thrown into disarray, and they were exhausted from dealing with the attacks. The might of the ghost corpse curse formation far exceeded his expectations. The ghost corpse vengeance it produced was all-pervasive, and it could even threaten ordinary venerables. It would be extremely troublesome if one was entangled by it. The skeletal division leader's 9 deadly bone was pushed to the limit, and its damage was even greater than the ghost corpse cursed arrays. That brat had such a skill. The blue lightning pirate was heavily injured and was being eroded by the power of the ghost corpse cursed array. His soul was slowly being eroded. In just one or two exchanges, the blue lightning pirate and the black armor giant were forced into a passive state. Only Lord Suwa, who was at the Great Origin Core realm, stood still. He radiated an unparalleled aura of heaven and earth, and there was a blood-green light around him that shattered the power of the curse before it even got close. Zhao Feng and the Skeletal Division leaders' hearts became solemn when they saw this. Even before Lord Suwa had attacked, he gave them an indescribable pressure. "Let me." Lord Suwa's slightly raspy voice sounded from the limitless ocean. Shua. Joy appeared on the faces of the blue lightning pirate and the black-armored giant as they fought, and they made space for each other. "Break!" Lord Suwa stepped forward and slashed out with his palm. Woo! The air within dozens of miles was dyed in a blood-colored light, and the heaven-earth yuan chi started to change. On the other hand, Lord Suwa seemed to be the ruler of heaven and earth. When he attacked, it was as if he could reverse the sun and moon. Boom! The sea of mist in this area seemed to tremble and rumble as if it was being shaken by a savage giant. In that instant, within the ghost corpse cursed array, Zhao Feng and the Skeletal Division leader felt like they were ants fighting against the universe. Crack! The immense resentment power of the ghost corpse's formation peeled off layer by layer, and the gray smoke cloud formed by the ghost corpse's formation shattered into pieces, as if it was on the verge of collapsing. What a terrifying attack! Zhao Feng felt his blood churn as he took a few hits. "You guys stall that brat. I'll kill the skeleton first." Lord Suwa was still cautious, mainly because he was afraid of accidentally injuring Zhao Feng. The bounty placed on Zhao Feng's head by the three supreme sects was so great that even the leader of the Pirate Alliance couldn't resist it. "Brat, you probably don't know what kind of enemy you're facing," the Blue Lightning Pirate said mockingly. A newborn calf isn't afraid of a tiger. This brat dares to fight a Great Origin Core realm." The Black Armor Giant's smile was full of mockery. At this moment, the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array was almost destroyed by Lord Suwa, and Zhao Feng lost most of his cover. Facing two late-stage small Origin Core realms, Zhao Feng's late-stage true Lord rank cultivation was useless even with his Earth-grade weapon. Luckily, the three Origin Core realms were afraid of accidentally killing Zhao Feng, so they held back. Boom! A loud explosion sounded from the other side. "Zhao Feng, save me!" The Skeletal Division leader screamed as it was sealed in the air by two blood-colored dragons. Creak! Cracks started to appear on the Skeletal Division leader's golden silver bones. Zhao Feng's expression changed dramatically. He didn't think that the Skeletal Division leader would lose so quickly. It was in desperate straits in just one or two moves. One had to know. After merging the 9 deadly Yin bone into the Skeletal Division leader's body, the toughness and defense of its bones had increased dramatically. It could now take the attacks of normal sovereigns head-on. This was only because the Skeletal Division leader had refined its bones. If it was a normal sovereign, their body would have exploded already. Crack! The Skeletal Division leader's bones were about to shatter. "I can't hold back anymore." Zhao Feng took in a deep breath in shock. However, the attacks of the other two sovereigns made it hard for him to protect himself. Open! Zhao Feng's face was somewhat gloomy, his left eye and hair rapidly turning deep blue. Chapter 572. Over the Limitless Ocean. Zhao Feng and the Skeletal Division leader were both in a life-and-death situation. When Lord Hu saw a Great Origin Core realm took action, it was as if heaven and earth had been flipped upside down. Save me! The Skeletal Division leader was on the verge of collapsing as it faced Lord Suwa's attack head-on. At this moment of life and death, he howled in grief as he glanced at Zhao Feng. Its last bit of hope was on its master. "Who can save you? That brat can't even protect himself." Lord Hu Suo mocked as he trapped the skeletal division leader in the air. The latter couldn't move at all. Indeed, Zhao Feng's situation wasn't much better. If it weren't for the fact that they wanted to capture Zhao Feng alive, the other two Origin Core realms wouldn't have been so careful. This brat's eyes and hair. The black-armored giant revealed a weird expression. The youth in despair had a layer of blue on his hair, and his left eye became as deep as the ocean. He, an eye bloodline? The blue lightning pirate laughed playfully, but he didn't put it to heart. At this moment, Zhao Feng had lost the protection of the Ghost Corp's cursed array and was no threat to the two late-stage, small Origin Core realms. I'll kill you first. A powerful surge of eye bloodline power appeared in Zhao Feng's left eye, and a purple and azure aura flashed through it. His left eye locked onto the blue lightning pirate. Void space eye slash. A faint ripple of eye bloodline power extended for where the blue lightning pirate was standing, and the outline of a whirlpool appeared at the center of the ripple. Shwa! A meter-long blade suddenly pierced through the blue lightning pirate's heart. Blood splattered everywhere. Accompanied by the purple destruction aura, the meter-long blade destroyed the blue lightning pirate's vitality. Woo! The blue lightning pirate's body froze as shock and fear appeared in his eyes. Plop! The blue lightning pirate's blood-stained body fell into the sea of void. At the moment of his death, the blue thunder bandit still had a stiff smile on his face, as well as a deep sense of loss. Old Seventh, the black-faced, black-armored giant roared in extreme shock. But at the same time, his gaze towards Zhao Feng was filled with anger and fear, as well as a trace of fear and unease towards the unknown. How did the blue thunder bandit die? He hadn't seen it clearly at all. The black-armored giant only saw Zhao Feng stare with his left eye, and a late-stage, small Origin Core realm blue lightning bandit was killed by a blade that appeared out of nowhere. What's going on? On the other side, Lord Hu Saw, who had forced the skeletal division leader to the brink of death, paused. Seeing the blue thunder bandit suddenly die, his heart skipped a beat. Junior, what Yao art did you use to kill number 7? The fear in the black-armored giant's heart was replaced by hysterical hatred. He swung his black battle axe at Zhao Feng. Void space eye slash. Zhao Feng's expression was cold. Shua! A 1-meter-long blade pierced through the black-armored giant's body, causing blood to splatter everywhere. You! The black-armored giant's body trembled as he struggled. Apart from fear, there was also confusion and doubt in his eyes. I already protected myself. My armor is made from a fragment of an Earth-grade weapon and can block the attacks of normal sovereigns. The black-armored giant's mind was in chaos before he died. However, he didn't know. Zhao Feng's strongest attack, the Void Space Eye Slash, used the power of spatial movement. The attack appeared directly within the body and dealt damage. In other words, even if one's defense was 10 or 100 times stronger, it would be useless. The body of any living being was weak, especially the heart. It couldn't block the aura of destruction. Plop! The black-armored giant's life force disappeared, and his body fell to the ground, following in the footsteps of the blue lightning bandit. In the blink of an eye, 2 sovereigns were instantly killed by Zhao Feng. See, Lord Hu Suo's expression changed as he took in a cold breath. Even he, who was at the Great Origin Core realm, didn't have the ability to instantly kill 2 late-stage, small Origin Core realm sovereigns. At this moment, Lord Hu Suo's face was filled with wariness and wariness. He had relaxed his control over the skeletal division leader. Within the limitless ocean, Lulan Jishui and the other sailors had gaping mouths. They didn't expect such a thing to happen. In just the blink of an eye, Zhao Feng had killed 2 sovereigns in a row. What kind of eye bloodline is this? Lulan Jishui couldn't describe the shock in her heart, and joy appeared on her face. She finally understood why such a powerful sovereign like the skeletal division leader would be willing to become this youth's servant. How could someone who's wanted by the 3 sects be a normal youth? Lord Hu Suo's expression was solemn as a thought flashed through his mind. At the same time, he felt a sense of danger. Void space eye slash. Zhao Feng used his strongest eye bloodline technique for the third time in a row. Not good. Lord Hu Suo's senses caught a faint disturbance in space. Zhao Feng's spatial movement wasn't the use of his space eye bloodline power. It was a type of movement ability that came with the god's spiritual eye. Thus, this kind of spatial fluctuation was even more obscure, surpassing common sense. Dod. After all, Lord Hu Suo was a great origin core realm expert. With the Shui, all that was left was an afterimage. Whoosh! Blood splattered as the afterimage was destroyed. Lord Hu Suo wasn't able to completely dodge the void space eye slash. He wasn't like Grandmaster Yin Kong, who had spatial techniques. Arg! Lord Hu Suo screamed as he reappeared dozens of yards away with a small hole in his chest. Brat you! Lord Hu Suo's face went pale white as the void space eye slash brushed past his heart, causing the aura of destruction to explode. Fortunately, he reacted quickly and used a portion of his quintessence to protect his heart. However, the void space eye slash was a spatial attack, and it pierced through his heart. Therefore, Lord Hu Suo's defense only reduced the damage, but it didn't completely dissolve the attack. There's only one more attack left. Zhao Feng gritted his teeth as he circulated the last bit of his eye bloodline, and a crazed expression appeared on his face. Brat, stop! Lord Hu Suo jumped up in fright as he suppressed the fatal injury and circulated his origin energy to pierce through the limitless ocean. Whoosh! A streak of green and blood-colored light flashed in the air. The resistance of gravity in the limitless ocean was extremely low, and one's speed could reach a terrifying level. He ran away. Ha ha ha! The great Lord Hu Suo actually ran away one day. Everyone within the limitless ocean ship broke out into discussion. Tears of joy flashed in Lulan Jishue's eyes. She couldn't describe the joy she felt at this moment. Captain, if you attack again, you'll be able to kill Lord Hu Suo and become famous across the limitless ocean. Bah! Captain, severely injuring Lord Hu Suo will be enough to become famous in the 8 Desolate Mountain. Everyone had lingering fear in their hearts as they discussed in amazement. Above the ocean, Zhao Feng let out a long breath as cold sweat appeared on his forehead. In reality, it would be extremely difficult for him to use the void space eye slash a 4th time, and even if he succeeded, he would be in danger. Therefore, Zhao Feng's final act of self-destructing was just a bluff. He knew that Lord Hu Suo would die if he didn't heal himself in time, and that Lord Hu Suo wouldn't dare to fight him head-on. Zhao Feng's guess was correct. Lord Hu Suo didn't dare to play around with his life. He needed to heal as soon as possible. Skeletal Division Leader Zhao Feng exclaimed as he waved the black flag, putting away the Ghost Corpse Cursed Array and the Skeletal Division Leader into the 10,000 Ghost Pearl. Within the 10,000 Ghost Pearl, the Skeletal Division Leader's bones were covered in cracks, and there were even some places that were broken. Fortunately, he cultivated the Tao of Ghostly Corpse Refinement, so his cultivation and recovery speed in the myriad Ghost Pearl far surpassed that of the outside world. Let's go. Zhao Feng entered the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship. Goo! The Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship once again entered the depths of the ocean and sped toward the 1,000 flowing islands. Within the captain's room, Zhao Feng sat down cross-legged and used the time to recover. At the same time, he inspected the 60 cursed ghost corpses. These cursed ghost corpses were all injured to a certain extent and needed time to recover. Fortunately, the special properties of the Myriad Ghost Pearl greatly increased the healing ability of these cursed ghost corpses. Even if they didn't purposely refine themselves, the 10,000 Ghost Pearl would still be able to grow. The 10,000 Ghost Cursed Array connects the cursed ghost corpses to one another, and they'll be able to resist attacks from the outside world. Zhao Feng inspected and found that the cursed ghost corpses weren't injured at all. The ones that were injured the most were missing arms and legs, but with enough resources and the 10,000 Ghost Pearl, it wasn't hard to repair them. Within the limitless ocean, the Blue Lightning Sea Sky ship's speed had reached its limit, and it kept increasing the distance between it and the 8 Desolate Mountain. Zhao Feng's left eye returned to its normal black color. We're finally out of danger, but Zhao Feng knew that the threat from the three sects was becoming smaller and smaller. However, at the same time, a strong sense of uneasiness came from the depths of his soul. The aura of death gave him a sense of danger. When he used the void space eye slash earlier, he could sense the aura of death several times more clearly. Zhao Feng, it's best if you don't use your eye bloodline. Every time you use your eye bloodline power, the connection between you and the Emperor of Death will increase. The purple Saint Partial Spirit's warning sounded out in his mind. Thinking up to there, Zhao Feng sighed in his heart. He wouldn't use the god's spiritual eye unless he had no other choice. On the other side of the limitless ocean, the ninth god's eye, you finally appeared? In the endless dark abyss, a mysterious voice that represented the will of death resounded in the soul dimension. Immediately following that, death, bridge, heaven, a will of death that reached the heavens, and the earth exploded like a dark sun. The will of death was so strong that it permeated through time and space, spreading endlessly across the endless sea of void. In that instant, everything within several dozen thousand miles became silent, and the day seemed to fall into darkness. At the same time, in the endless ash sea, a few great existences vaguely caught a trace of something in the void. Within the dark abyss, a black shadow bird floated in front of an ancient palace, radiating the aura of death, and gave off a sharp voice. The Emperor of Death has summoned the 4 Death Spirit Lords and the 36 Death Guards. That you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.